Yo, what's going on, everybody? Yo, I'm saying it's your boy DT3 and your boy Double M Magnus. It's DT-Magnus Boxing Talk 101. Peace and pugilism.
Peace and pugilism. What's up, beautiful spirits? Pugilist fanatic. We'll wait for them to come in a little bit before we get rolling.
Let them on. Let the masses come on in. We got a lot of good boxing discussion going on. We got the KSI Logan Paul situation. We got Inoue updates with that. We got Devin Haney.
We got it all. The whole works. Hey, go and share it in your community on your phone.
What's going on? We're just waiting for the masses to come in. We're finna talk this good boxing talk. We're gonna start off with Inoue. What's up? Shout out to the UGC, man. UGC in the building.
Shout out to the UGC underground community in the building.
In the building. What's going on, players? We here to talk this boxing talk. Feel free. We welcome all those. Let me be clear. This is the DT-Magnus Boxing Talk show. This is not a debate show. If you want to debate any one of us, feel free to slide in on my DT3 open debate show. But this is about boxing talk and boxing talk only. We're not here to debate. We're not here to push any type of negative debate narrative. We just here to talk straight boxing, man. So if you want to come in and talk straight boxing
and have fun doing it.
Yeah, man. It should. Both of us are hosts. I'm your host, DT3, the Boom Man. There's your other host, Magnus, aka Boxing Logistics United.
Boxing Logics United. Boxing Logics United. Get it right, DT3.
Excuse me.
He loves saying logistics. And you're saying actually the right word. I just cut it off. Logics. Boxing Logics, because both of our logics are going in on this show.
Right,
everybody else in the comment section.
Right. Shout out to Monique in the building. What's up, Nick? What's going on, Nick? How you feeling?
How you doing, beautiful Nick? What's up? Let me get ready. You know, if I don't got the black, I ain't in them. It ain't right. What's that? BX Bronx? Is that the Bronx NYC? Shout out Bronx. Yep. South Bronx.
What's up? Boxing Finesse in the building.
Boxing Finesse, what's up? UK in the house. Nice to meet you too, Bronx. What's up, baby?
What's going on? All right, so since we got some people in, man, let's just go ahead and get this stuff started, man. So what's your take on the KSI Logan Paul fight? How did you enjoy that? What were the good points? What were the bad points? How do you feel about that, Double M?
Hey, bro. It was first of all, let me just be honest and say the crowd was absolutely electric when that fight started. Electric. I look at it as the boxing match for the YouTube millennials. Okay? The purists, traditionalists, us diehard fans probably was like, but as far as for the millennials, that fight was for them. It was hella exciting. KSI came out like the mini Wilder. He was slapping all over, major aggression, wild as hell. And believe it or not, Paul Logan seemed to try to be more technical and everything. But it was a wild match. They was all over the place. It looked like Wilder slap boxing as far as KSI, but his aggression and intensity, I think, shook Paul Logan quite a bit. It was crazy. It was wild. It was some hey, I ain't gonna laugh. It was funny. It was it was funny TV, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now I can see, I mean, Dazzy, it was a smart move by Dazzy. I think like I say, us purists, us traditionalists gonna be like, but far as for just sheer entertainment, it was that. It had all of it and then some. It was funny. It was absolutely funny. It was competitive too, had its drama. And you could see they was absolutely serious in the joint. They were serious. Real talk. Knockdowns, the whole works.
Right.
What you think about it?
I think, I ain't gonna lie, I was giving the fight a hard time from the moment they announced the fight, from the moment they said these two guys was fighting. I gave it hard publicity. I was just like, I wasn't even giving it publicity. I'm just gonna keep it real. I had nothing to say about this fight. And having actually watched the fight after, I have to say it was exciting for the 6 rounds that it did go. I was actually entertained by it. KSI was showing that he came to fight and he was coming to knock Logan Paul, you know what the hell out.
He was throwing haymakers. He looked just like Wilder. I'm dead serious. I'm like, who's training him? Was he in the Bronx Bomber training camp? Because he came to that joint winging haymakers from Alabama like I don't know what, bro.
Yeah, when I saw that, and then I saw Logan Paul trying to be too technical.
He was.
Hands down.
Exactly.
And he wasn't jabbing good. His jab wasn't effective. You know, a simple jab would offset everything that KSI was trying to do. And he wasn't really effective with his jab at all. He was getting caught with overhand rights like all night.
The aggression. He was getting hit in the back of the head too a little bit there. By KSI. He was getting hit because KSI was wild. But KSI overall aggression and intensity, and he didn't come out, unlike the first fight, when I believe he came out a little tentative and hesitant. He didn't at all in this fight. He came out just wilding. And I believe that intimidated Logan Paul a little bit. It was like, oh my God. And Logan Paul fell down a couple of times. He was just swinging for the fences. And he didn't care what he hit. The referee and all. KSI was trying to take his head off.
What's crazy to me about that is the amount of people that was there, how it sold out the way it did. That's what got me. It sold out better than some top fighters in the game.
It was over 20,000 people.
For 6 rounds.
Did you hear the crowd? Before he wants to fight, the bell, ding, ding, let's fight.
It was crazy. Eruption.
It sounded like it was going to be, it sounded like it was Thriller in Manila. Rumble in the Jungle.
It was crazy.
Like if Pacquiao and Mayweather fought when they was 35.
Yeah, instead of damn near 45. But still, you know, but it was a very electric night. I have to say, it was a very electric night. I underestimated both guys in how they would bring, you know, people to the sport of boxing. And you'd be surprised at the millions of people that are subscribed and follow them who wasn't fans of boxing, who are now actually fans of boxing because of these two guys coming together.
Bro, you're 100% correct. And to just add on to that, you got to look at KSI and Logan Paul both have 20 million plus YouTube followers. Instagram, KSI has what I believe over 6 million. On Instagram, Logan Paul has over 16 million. Then when you go to Twitter, they both have over 5 million. So add that up, bro. That is over 31 million followers that KSI have and 41 million that Logan Paul has. So it was a great business. You got to understand the sport of boxing has what it's always been since they ever sold tickets. Since they ever been selling tickets to any boxing match in the sport of boxing, whether you in England to America, which has been probably since the inception, 100 years. Since they sold tickets, that means it was then a business. And this was just a business move for DAZN. They're going to get slick. And I heard Hearn say in an interview, people are waiting to slate him for this KSI Logan match. But looking at the projection and what it's going to help do for boxing,
right?
I can see why DAZN did it. I can see why they did it. And I wasn't too fond of it when it happened. But for its business and helping bring more people to the sport of boxing, I understand why they did it. You know what I'm saying? If I take my heart out of it and think with logic and business, I understand exactly why they did it. So, hey, congratulations to DAZN and KSI.
Congratulations to KSI for getting the W.
Absolutely. And it was a great fight.
So moving forward, we're seeing a lot of people that got something to say about this Lomachenko Devin Haney debacle. So, what is your take on Loma and Devin Haney? Do you think Devin Haney is ready for Loma right now?
I know in the fight against Mr. Alfredo Santiago, who was 12-0 from the Dominican Republic, he came as a lively opponent. Is he ready? Maybe we'll have to see. I mean, maybe you really never know until we put him in there. We could speculate and say yes, no, but we have to put him in there. Let's see. If Devin Haney is willing to challenge himself and say, yo, I want to get in there, hey, people want to put Lomachenko as one of the top pound for pound, then let him prove himself. Let him test himself. If that's what that young boy want to do, if it's not just talk and he want to do it, let him test himself. What do you think?
I think Haney is ready for a Loma fight. I don't think Haney could win a Loma fight right now with the way he performed his last fight. He kind of was just trying to walk through the guy the first 4 rounds. He was getting caught with shots he shouldn't have got caught with, and Loma is the fighter that you have to fight the smart strategic fight. Not because of just it's Loma, but you're fighting the judges too when you fighting Loma. You're not just fighting Loma, you're fighting the judges as well. So Loma is the kind of fighter that if he does enough to impress the judges, he's going to get the W in the 12-round fight. So what I think Devin is trying to show is that he's going to walk through Loma and just basically get him out of there, when I don't think Loma's going to, allow him to fight that fight. And I think he's going to try to make Devin Haney, or Loma's going to make his fights kind of draw out 12 rounds because he can edge out a decision.
I don't know if Haney would try to just run through Loma, because I do believe Haney going to be more up and prepared for Loma. And also, in respect to keep in mind, Haney, this is a 43-day turnaround for this fight here. He just fought 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
He turned around and fought this fight in 43 days. So props to him. He's done fought so far 4 times this year, Devin Haney. So he's doing whatever he can and their team to get him out there. And so, hey, to do a quick turnaround in 43 days and fight, that's on some Tevin Farmer stuff. So, right. And he's young to do that, because Santiago, I believe, is 25. Haney is still only 20 years old. So if you're going to have a quick turnaround for a fight like this, you might as well try to do it when you're at 20 years old and still young, plenty of energy and everything. What do the fans like to think?
Well, as we see, Emlo says that Haney can't run through Loma. That's his issue. That's his
I agree.
Debate. And
I think Loma, respect to Loma is perfect for trying to use your aggression against you. And that's with the beautiful footwork that he has.
Terrell says Loma ducked Manny Pacquiao. And I'm still trying to figure out why is Loma and Manny Pacquiao mentioned in the same sentence when Loma is a 130-pounder. Manny Pacquiao been fighting at 47 for God knows how long. But, you and the opinion, I get what you're saying, the size, you're thinking of their size, and they're probably similar in size, and they fight each other. But they fight 2 totally different weight classes, and I don't see Manny Pacquiao dropping down to 130, 135 to fight Lomachenko, let alone Lomachenko moving up to 47 to fight Manny.
Loma ain't moving up anymore, I don't believe, at all. Loma's only been speaking of moving down.
Right.
Even Bob Arum said, we're going to take matches at 135 and 130. So they're not going up. And I think Loma said himself he's not going up anymore because his size don't support that.
Right.
So he's going to stay at 135 or down at 130 for the future fights for Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's up, Crazy Queen? Shout out to Crazy Queen, man. And Box King says Garcia has the most explosive power in the division, in the 126, 130 division. Ryan Garcia.
We have to see against the competition he fights. Ryan Garcia has, I think, an amazing upside, just like the other great young up-and-coming fighters in the division. But still, they still have people still put the asterisk by their name, and that asterisk represents, let's see him against better competition. And so I'm not taking nothing from Ryan Garcia. He has the height. He has the speed. And he definitely has the great team behind him with Golden Boy and his trainers and everything. So let's see what the future has for him. When he's willing to step up, like we could say about many, we could say that about Haney, and we could say that about Stevenson. We could say that about many, not just Ryan Garcia, but we still have to see him. We have to see what the future holds in the competition he faces to see, how explosive his power really is.
All right, Charles says Manny Pacquiao is shorter than Loma. Shorter than Loma is, though. He is Loma. Loma is ducking everyone. Tank, Haney, and Pac-Man. I don't see Loma ducking.
I don't see why Pac-Man again. Pac-Man is only fighting at a 147. So I don't know why Pac-Man again, along with you, don't see how his name keep coming up. But and Loma's not going up, so we ain't gonna never see them fight. I don't believe ever in the future. There's not even no talks of those names even surrounding each other. So I don't know about a ducking, but that's hey man, people gonna have to say what they gotta say. I feel in respect to them. That's a great comment.
D. Hodges says Ryan Garcia's fight looked fixed. Why would you say it looked fixed? I can understand why some people have said the fight looked fixed. I've heard people say it based on Duno being a bruiser, him being a come forward fighter, being able to take punishment and keep moving forward. I've heard how Duno has been able to take way more abuse in the punishment that he took in that fight and still kept fighting. So why was Ryan Garcia able to get him out of there in the fashion that he did? And I just think that maybe Ryan just showed you he's a lot better than you guys give him credit for, a lot better than I give him credit for, because I didn't pick him getting Duno out of there the way he got Duno out of there. What you think, Double M?
Hey, bro, it's speculation. I understand exactly where the fans is coming from. I really do. But at the end of the day, can we prove it? Is it speculation? And look, I'm a conspiracy theorist more than anybody else. You feel me? But at the same time, what can we prove? So if there's nothing we can prove, then there's no need in harping on that, what many believe. And I understand what the fans are saying. You know what I'm saying? But again, let's just give respect to Ryan Garcia in the future. We definitely know in the future we're not going to see him fight easy opponents. He's going to have to step up in competition because he eventually is going to have to challenge for a belt. And so that means he's going to have to run into Shakur. He's going to have to run into Haney. He's going to have to run into all those guys. So let's see what happens in the future for Ryan Garcia. I wish him the best. Real talk. And that's the thing. I just want the super exciting fights that will happen. Not that they're going to happen immediately because we know how they're going to build up. But in the future, those fights going to happen. And that's going to answer all the questions we have.
Mm-hmm. And this was something that me and Double M had spoke about before. What's up, Toby? It was Loma requested the franchise title to duck mandatory Devin Haney like Canelo did to Charlo. I'm going to speak on that, and then Double M is going to have his take on that, and then we're going to move on from this topic. But with that being said, Loma also has something behind him, which is the other belts. It's not like that was the only belt that he had, and it's like, okay, give me the franchise belt, and I don't have no other belts behind me. He still has the lineal title behind him, still has the WBO belt behind him, and from what I understand, he still has the WBA belts behind him. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not like the WBC was the only belt that he had under his belt. So for everybody to be giving him problems, you got to understand that he has a lot more coming with the franchise belt. Like, he already has 2 or 3 other belts that he has under him. So give the man a little credit, man. Let him leave him alone a little bit, just a little bit.
Okay, and also just to add to that, we don't know if Loma, truth be told, I ain't hear Loma out of his mouth said I asked for the franchise title. You know what I mean? I did hear Carl Moretti say we asked for it in this interview with shout outs to TBV. I did hear Carl Moretti say we asked for it. Now, we don't know if that came from Loma himself. So let's give Loma benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? I know he did say that he was happy to get it and it was helping make bigger fights, but I don't think you need the franchise title, franchise champion title to make the big fights. I think you just need to request it. I just believe you really need to want it. I don't think you need the franchise champion tag. Now, does it do the mandatories get maybe in the way of making those fights happen immediately or when you would like them? Yes. So I can understand why they took it, but I don't think they needed that. That's why step aside money is paid, right? So I don't really think they needed that to and there's other people in the chat too. All our give respect to our lawyers that came in. I saw Toby Bartlett in there. I see Suleiman up in there and everybody. Shout out to all of y'all. So with that being said, again, we can speculate a whole bunch. And so I didn't hear Loma out of his mouth say he asked for it. I heard Carl Moretti say we asked for it to TBV.
Marcelo Suleiman stated that Loma asked for it.
And I think Terrell Knox, but I didn't hear him out of his mouth say it. I'm not saying he didn't. I just didn't see that. Right. I know Carl Moretti said we asked for it. And when you say we asked for it, that means it's multiple people.
Yeah, we is plural. We
is plural. Carl Moretti didn't say Lomachenko asked for it. He said we asked for it, right? So let's be.
It was a team effort. It was basically like we all talked about it. We came together on it, and we all agreed that our fight.
And they could have agreed on it and then presented it to Lomachenko. Say, look, we're going to try to get this franchise champ for you.
I have an issue with this comment here, and I have to speak on it, Terrell. For your pound for pound, now 1 and 3, I have no issue with being on your pound for pound list whatsoever. But 2, 4, and 5 have no business pound for pound list. Okay.
Peace out to Terrell Knox.
I feel you, Terrell. I get it. I love you and all that. Appreciate you always coming in and give your opinion and your insight. But that tomfoolery has to stop. Okay. There's no way in 7 Hells that Errol Spence should be rated above Terrence Bud Crawford. He just unified. The first time he's ever unified his whole career. Okay. All right. He's the first time he's ever done it. All right. J-Rock. Come on. J-Rock is the first time he's ever unified anything. Wilder in the unification bout.
Also, one question to this. And hey, Terrell Knox, respect your opinion. And great, I love your comment. But keep in mind, if you're going to have J-Rock here as number 4, then do you have to put then Charlo on this list? Because Charlo knocked out J-Rock.
He did. And he's a 2-division world champion at this point because he did win the belt at 54. And he moved up and he won the belt too. So, if you're going to put J-Rock on there, be equal opportunities and put Jamal Charlo on there too because he is a 2-division world champ.
And people, that's Terrell Knox's list. That's not DT-Magnus list.
That's not our list. Okay. We're going to come up with our own list, man. We're going to come with our own list and we're going to show y'all our pound for pound, man. We'll give y'all that next week. We'll give you our pound for pound list.
Absolutely. Who else in the chat got comments? Somebody, Arsenal Maniacs in the house. Shout out. First of all, let's shout out everybody join for a quick minute that we missed. Jay Marino, shout out to you. Peace and Pugilism. PED, Peace and Pugilism. Bronx NYC, Peace and Pugilism. Toby Bartlett, Peace and Pugilism. We got a new face in here. Undisputed Boxing Expect. Peace and Pugilism to you, sir. M. Lowe, Peace and Pugilism to you. James, I see James Horrigan. Peace and pugilism to you, sir. Thank you for coming out. Boxings, peace and pugilism to you. Suleiman, a loyalist, peace and pugilism. Jamal Khan, peace and pugilism. Calculated risk, peace and pugilism. All the beautiful spirits, pugilist fanatics. Vizio, peace and pugilism. The inside line is in the place, peace and pugilism. Zachary Allen, peace and pugilism. And Victor Penn, peace and pugilism. Last but not least, real quick, Bernardi Pierre Luis, peace and pugilism, brother.
All right, we got some people asking us about the Inoue situation. Why don't you give us the news on the updated on what's going on with Inoue right now, Double M? What's going on?
Inoue. Oh, Naoya Inoue. Okay. That's a bad mofo. Bad
No
mofo.
mouth.
And I would say right now he's number 2. Number 2 or number 3 on my pound for pound list. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and jump and put him at number 2. He ain't undisputed, but I will make an exception for that young dude because he's a bad boy. So he's in my top 3 pound for pound.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we hear that of course he got the new Top Rank contract to have 3 fights in the year of 2020. Now, from what we heard with his epic classic bout versus Nonito Donaire that just happened last weekend or earlier this week at the World Boxing Super Series, that he did fracture. He had a fracture of his orbital bone and a fracture on his nose. So that pushes back a little bit the schedule, however, they had planned out for him for his true United States debut. He already fought once in the United States in 2017. So, but his debut of Top Rank, I should say. Mm-hmm. So he has that. So now that has us up in the air when his first fight would be, because he has scheduled for, I believe, 2-3 fights in 2020. But this is a magnificent talent. He, man, the boy is bad. Wonderful boxing IQ off rip. Wonderful ring generalship. Wonderful boxing technique. Wonderful everything. He has a few holes in his defense, but far as and good power. So I think he has almost damn near the whole package you can want out of a boxer. Naoya, Inoue, is everything they claim him to be. And I do believe he's going to become, he could become a household name. He already has all of Japan behind him.
Right.
He become a household name in the boxing as far as in the United States of America. He has the potential through the roof. But so I'm very, very hyped to see him come in. My boy Jamal Khan Boxing said he think he's overhyped. I don't think so. He's still young. He has not hit his prime yet because he's only 26. Keep that in mind. But he has the whole package. Mm-hmm. And he's only going to get better.
Mm-hmm. What's up to my boy Andrew Tucker, man? Shout out Andrew Tucker. Welcome to Andrew Tucker's world, man. MBBC in the building.
Peace and pugilism
that I have to put to bed, man. I gotta find it. When I find the comment, I gotta put that narrative to bed. Where did I just see it at? Because I just saw it, and I have to put that narrative to bed. We cannot have that narrative. I'm looking for it right now, Double M. I'm looking for right here. Right here, I'm going to speak on this. After that, we're not going right back to it. I'm not going back to it no more in the show. I'm just going to address this right now. Terrell Knox says Errol Spence is to number 5 pound for pound. He defeated a 39-0 undefeated pound for pound ranked Mikey Garcia and unified against Sean Porter. Those 2 names along with Brooke is more than Bud has ever accomplished. Now, for one, Terrence Bud Crawford has been an undisputed champion in boxing, bro. He's been undisputed champion. I appreciate the comment. Thank you for putting that out there. Appreciate that. But let the masses know the truth when it comes to that scenario, okay? Errol Spence has never been an undisputed champion. He's never been lineal, ever, okay? Ever. Terrence Bud Crawford did it twice, lineal. He's been undisputed once and been unified twice, okay? Be clear about that. Now, the Mikey Garcia situation, y'all did not give Errol Spence credit for that Mikey fight because y'all said Mikey was supposed to lose to Errol Spence. Errol Spence did exactly what he was supposed to do, and it wasn't like no major win. Mikey wasn't nobody. So now y'all can't give him credit for fighting Mikey when y'all said that Mikey was stupid for fighting Errol coming up 2 different weight classes. Okay? You got to be fair. Open and honest. What do you think, Double M?
You got to keep in mind, Victor Postol was, I believe, undefeated. Was running through everybody. Crawford took him out of there, dismantled him, did great work. Gamboa, undefeated, gold medalist, out of the Cuban boxing system. War renowned. Jamal Crawford ran through him. Big boy from Australia, Horn.
Mm-hmm.
They thought he was going to be too big for Crawford. Crawford dismantled him. Jamal Crawford, again, on the major consensus in boxing, is still number 1 pound for pound, and he's earned it and deserved it. Errol Spence has not quite yet, but Errol Spence has wonderful potential. Granted, hopefully that this accident he's been through hasn't add any detriment to his career. And Terrell Knox ain't the only person in the comic section. Let's give love to everybody in the comic section and holler at him. But
everybody getting love. It's just everybody's getting on Terrell for the comment he's making, so it's kind of hard to put other people's comments in when everybody's on Terrell for. I'm not knocking you. I appreciate your comments, Terrell. I don't mind you commenting. It's just that I would like to have more objective comments, more realistic comments, not just in a sense.
Well, if Gambo was 226 pounds when he faced Crawford, then where's Gamboa? I mean, that 126 pounder then is stepping up to fight Gervonta Davis, right? So why is Gervonta Davis fighting somebody who's coming up from 126 pound and Gervonta Davis is at 135 pound? So you gotta ask all this stuff, and that Terrell Knox is probably a Gervonta Davis fan too. So again, let's keep it honest and real and down the middle. But hey, man, peace to you, Terrell Knox. Great comments, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate you commenting, bro. I appreciate that, man.
And just because
El Jefe, he wants to speak his mind on any boxing topic that we're talking on in our show. So feel free, El Jefe. I just sent you the link. Feel free to come in. This is not a debate show. This is a show about boxing talk and boxing talk only. So when you come on, feel free to come on, but make sure we just keep it boxing talk. This is not about a debate. This is not about who knows more, who's right or who's wrong. It's just pure boxing talk, man. Peace.
And right, and guess what? Mr. J.R. Marino made a good comment. He said Gamboa was a favorite against Crawford.
He was.
Hey.
Let me find that comment. I can't. Let me see.
J.R. Marino.
J.R. Marino, he was supposed to win by knockout. Now he's incredible.
And right, and many people, and to answer Terrell Knox as well, Terrell Knox, it's a major consensus around the boxing world that Spence got a gift decision versus Porter. Many people thought Porter won, from not only the fans, but to trainers, commentators, fighters, everything. So Spence has a little more to do, but I gave Spence a congratulation video for his win. And I'm not taking nothing from the brother. I think he has a tremendous upside, but I just don't have him in my top 5 pound for pound yet.
Me neither. I don't have him up there. He hasn't done enough to where it's like, hey, he should be pound for pound. He should be on the pound for pound list. All that stuff. I don't see him as doing enough to where he actually deserves to be in the conversation of pound for pound.
Also, switch gears back to Naoya Inoue. What about your boy Ruiz Nery? What do you think of him?
I think Nery is going to pose a real threat to Inoue. The reason why I say this is because dude is a real raw dog puncher. The guy could punch, and the guy has had a lot of fights. He got some fights under him, so he's been in there. And I think
34-0. 30-0 with 24 knockouts.
I mean, he's only 6 people. Only 6 fighters have been able to stand in there with him. Only 6.
Now, it's been comments that he just got hit for a banned substance, PED. Was it the meat?
I'm
not aware of it. But the people in the comment section, DT-Magnus, we have the most. That's why I had to come up with the name Boxing Logics United, because guys in our comment section be on it. We got the most educated fans in the sport of boxing, without a doubt.
What's going on, man? I'd like to send a shout out to my boy D Jefferson. We would like to welcome him to the show. What's up, D Jefferson? Welcome to your boy DT-Magnus show. What's going on?
What up, fellas? What's good with you?
What's up, D Jefferson? Peace out, peace and pugilism, baby.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, man, I'm just chilling on this Sunday. I ain't really did much this weekend, bro. I kind of took a break, got kind of knocked back sometime.
Okay. We got another one that wants to slide in. We're gonna keep it only 4 people on the panel for the show. We got D Jefferson, and this must be El Jefe. This
Yo, what's up? This is El Jefe.
What's going
on?
Hey,
so,
man.
Peace and pugilism, LFA. Peace and pugilism.
What's up, Jefe? You gotta give me your email, man.
Oh, my email? I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you later on.
All right, yeah, you gotta do that so I can set that thing up for you.
So, fellas, we only gonna spend a little time on this topic, then we finna move on because we got to talk about these heavyweights, man. We got to talk about these big boys, man. So, we want to get y'all take on this whole Inoue.
Yo, D3. Before I cut you off, man, what's the name of your boy?
Myron Magnus, man.
It's Myron Magnus.
Boxing.
Oh, okay, because did I just hear him say that Spence is not a top 5 pound for pound? Did he just say that?
We both agree that Spence is not top 5 pound for pound. That's not just him. That's both.
3 of us agree on that. I don't agree. Top 5.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I won't debate that. I'll just leave that as that.
I mean, you can speak your piece on what you think about that, but it's not a debate. We're not debating about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to debate it. So, my bad.
It's all good.
No problem, bro. No problem, bro.
We just also want to speak on what do you think about the Nery Inoue situation? What do you think about how do you match up Inoue with Nery? Do you think Inoue is just gonna box his ears off, or do you think Nery is gonna make a dog fight of it? What do you think? What is your thoughts, Myron? We're gonna start off with Double M. We're gonna go down the panel. Myron Magnus, Double M, and then El Jefe. What's up, Myron? What you think?
Well, up to this point, I've seen a little bit more of Inoue than Nery. Got to do some more research on Nery. I'm gonna be quite honest, but for what I have seen of him, he's explosive. He's tremendously explosive, and I do believe the PBC. I don't know if the PBC will do. I think the PBC. It would be a beautiful thing to see the PBC and Top Rank work together and making that fight happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I think many people want to see Inoue versus Nery, and if Lawrence, there's no issues or whatever between the guys and whatever's going on behind the scenes. I just think that's going to be an awesome fight, and I think that's going to be a huge fight when they get ready for it and build it up. But I think for what I've seen of both, it's going to be an electric fight, and it could be just as big or just as epic as the Donaire Inoue fight was.
What you think, D?
My bad, I was on mute. Yeah, I would like to see Nery and Inoue fight, but I think that fight, man, it's like Inoue got other things to do. I like to see him try to get through Obali, Nordine Obali, and Solani Tete, and go ahead and clear out the division, and then talk about these Nery fights and these other guys. But the thing with him signing with Top Rank and Solani Tete Nordine Obali being with PBC, which is basically like arch rivals for Top Rank, him and Heyman don't get along. So since these 2 guys are not there, like now is the time to jump on that opportunity and go clean out the division. Frank Warren always, do business with Top Rank, so that one's easy with Solani Tete. And then, just go get the Obali fight. You got to assume that his younger brother, for the people that don't know, Takuma Inoue was Naoya's younger brother. So, and he's not the more talented of the 2 brothers. So, when you look at that fight with Nordine Obali, not to utilize the triangle theory, but it's just saying that his brother's a better fighter. And if Takuma took him 12 rounds, it's safe to say that Naoya probably stops Obali and then get over there and make a deal with Frank Warren and those guys, and then fight Solani Tete and clean out the division. So Nery, go do something else. And then there's other guys that Nery can challenge himself. Like, dude, you got guys there you can challenge. Like, put your big boy pants on and go challenge those guys, and let Monster handle his business with the 4 belt undisputed.
Gotcha. What do you think, El Jefe? What's your take on it? And then I need your take on it. And I'm gonna have to get you out of here and get Troy Graham in. We only want to keep 4 people on the panel. We don't want to.
Hey, real quick, bro. I gotta make a run anyway. I just wanted to come holler at you and BLU right quick. You know what I mean? Say what's up to y'all fellas.
Sure.
Y'all do a good job, bro. I like this shit, man. Y'all keep doing this.
For sure. We got you.
All right, fam.
One love.
One love. It's 63 people in the building, and we only got 39 likes, man. Hit that like button. Hit the like button.
Definitely show the love. Put the love.
So, El Jefe, what do you think? What do you think about the Nery and Inoue fight? But before you comment, I want to send a shout out to my boy Troy Graham. He just stepped in the chat. He just commented.
Peace out, Troy.
Big up to Troy Graham, man. Welcome to the panel, man.
I don't have a good connection.
Peace and pugilism, brother.
Peace and pugilism, my brother.
So what's on your mind?
What's up? I don't have a good connection right now, man. So I don't know if you can even hear me.
We hear you
clear.
We hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
loud and clear.
But we want to get El Jefe's take on the Nery and the Inoue fight. We want them two fight. What do you think about that? What you think about that, El Jefe?
Inoue and the Nery fight.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what do you think about that happening?
Oh man, I think it's gonna be a great fight, man. It's gonna be another classic Japanese versus Mexican type of fight. But I think it's a 50-50 fight. But I would favor Inoue right now. But I still have to see Nery against Rodriguez to see how he does. But I think it's a classic fight. It could be up to par with Pacquiao and what's his name, Marcus.
Hey, Fa, what do you?
Yeah, what's up?
What is the what do you see the advantages Inoue have going into that fight versus the advantages that Nery has going into that fight?
I think Inoue is a little bit more polished and has a little bit more power, and his chin, man. So that's 3 things that I noticed because Nery's a bit chinny. He's been dropped a couple times in his past previous fights. Okay. But I think Nery has that dog in him, bro, and just that work rate is gonna help him out against Inoue. But that's a fight we need to see.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Great comment.
Great comment, man. What do you think about it, Troy? What you think about the Nery and Inoue fight? What do you think about that fight happening? What's your take on it? Who do you have winning the fight, and how do you think they will win the fight?
Can't give you an answer because I haven't been paying attention to any of those fighters, man. I'm a boxing fan since I was 15. I'm 48 now, right?
Right.
But I don't really watch boxing. Yeah, I don't really watch boxing as much because it's just the passion is really not there anymore. But I had a question for both you brothers, right?
Okay.
How did you two hook up? Because see, I know I found Myron I was on YouTube, so I said let me check him out, and I found you the same way. And here's why I'm asking, because I bounce around a lot to different shows because I just like boxing talk, right?
Yes, sir.
And it seems like you two stay focused on the subject and not a lot of the nonsense. So how did both of you hook up and do this?
I'm gonna let Double M take that. And then
all right. Hey, first of all, Troy Graham, let me say, man, look, with so many people you see in your subs and your comments and everything, I would like to say it's wonderful to see your face, bro. All right, it's wonderful to see your face in person because you be in the comments all the time. You show love to both of the channels, and I want to say thank you from the heart. Pure pugilism, and peace and pugilism. I started my channel before DT3, and I guess we gravitated to each other by the fact that we saw things much alike. And I would watch a couple of his videos, and I was like, God damn, this kid is good. You know what I mean? Not his kid. It's about 8-9 years difference between us, but not much. But I was like, damn, he's good. And I was like, and I started looking at more of his videos, like, damn, he hit on a point I'm going to hit on my video. So it caught me off guard. So I was like, okay. And I like being original as possible or bringing different perspectives that perhaps people ain't spoke about. So sometimes people like Bruce Vane, Counterpunch would make me alter what I would want to talk about in the video. And I like that. So it challenged me, but it also made me get better. You know what I'm saying? Made me think of different angles, different things and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden he started coming on my channel listening to me. I was coming on his channel listening to him, and it was like, it's just like, okay, you know, and the cool bond began there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And our charisma, I think our energy and the chemistry was almost instantaneous, so to say.
Right.
Our chemistry.
Right. And Myron, you know, we in the same area, man, because you in DC, closer to DC. I'm in Baltimore.
One
so,
love.
So we
Of course.
Yeah, because I used to go to Mike's. Was it Mike's boxing gym down there? I used to do something. I went there a couple of times, and when I was boxing, I used to go to Palmer Park and do some work with the twins back in the day. But like I said, I'm 48, so that was a while back.
Man, you gotta be Palmer Park, baby.
And there's a gym in Rockville they call Hookers. I don't know if Hookers is still there, but I used to train with my godfather there, who's Simon Brown.
Wow, for real?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah.
Okay, so you got lineage.
Yeah, man. I was in the gym with Joppy, Sean Bay Mitchell, Keith Holmes, Les Johnson, Troy Jackson, all them cats, man. Yeah.
Man, so your boxing,
all them cats.
Your boxing knowledge is deep. Then, if you're in there with all those guys, Simon Brown, Keith Holmes, Jackson.
Yes, sir.
You was in there.
I've been a fan for a minute. I've been a fan for a minute, man. I've been a fan for a minute, but you know, it's good to actually have a civil conversation because a lot of times these cats, I think, they focus on trying to outdo somebody else, and I don't know how you could build in that way.
Absolutely.
It's not really a challenge when anybody calls you. It's not so much that I want to outdo this brother, outdo that brother. It's really a challenge because you got a bunch of folks out here that tune into you and they want to hear about boxing. They don't want to hear about all the drama you having with X group over here, that group over here, and da 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 da. But go ahead, brother. You were gonna tell how you hooked up with Myron and all that.
That's DT3.
I started off with Myron was just like I liked his content. I liked how he kept everything open and honest, and I was just like, okay, right. I like this dude. This dude is really cool. You know, I really like him, and him and Bruce, along with Two Hands, were the ones that was just calling it right down the middle, and I was really digging that. And me and Myron both show our faces, so that was something that also made me cling to him. It makes me more recognize with him more because he shows his face. It's like I show my face, and he's a funny dude, just like I'm a funny guy. And for those who don't know, me and Myron just so happen to be Aquariuses, so that also adds to it as well because we both is Aquariuses. So it's just like he's a January Aquarius, I'm a February Aquarius. So it's just like the chemistry is just natural. Like when we did our first stream together, it was just natural. Wasn't nothing planned, nothing talked about. We just went in it and we were just being us. You know, we just being us. So I mean, it's just natural.
Yeah. Also, you used to box. I heard you mention that, but I think I saw a picture of you with you and your trainer. You know, what's your weight class and all that? You used to box at
135. But at that time, I fought at 130 and 35. Now I fight from 130 to 45. 135 to 45.
I tell you what I know about y'all. You know, all the brothers in that weight class, because I used to be at a gym in B-More called Umar Boxing, right? Umar Boxing, it's known, trust me, it's definitely known. Tank got his start there. Rockmar got his start there. Franchon Cruz got her start there, right? And if it was, Tank actually got to Cincinnati because of Umar. He traveled, and you know, that's how he met Broner, and the rest is history, right? Mm-hmm. Anyhow, there's a lot of cats in your weight class, man. They got big hearts and got a Franchon Cruz's husband, I think, is in your weight class. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the brother's name, but the brother's nice. The brother's definitely nice, and I wish I could remember his name. I've known him for a minute, but just a lot of it, man. So you know, are you still training, or you know, what you do now?
He's still fighting, baby.
I'm still fighting.
Oh,
okay. I fight January 11th. I start camp after Thanksgiving. I want to eat, so I'm starting camp after Thanksgiving and all that. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, Troy. We finna get to the heavyweight discussions because we got to get on these heavyweights, man. We got to holler at this Joshua.
All right, man. Thank you for having me on, man. You know, I'll catch you the next time you're on, Myron.
Got
Thanks,
you.
Troy.
We'll let it happen.
Champ.
All right, brother.
One
All
love,
right,
man.
man.
Thank you, bro.
What's up, El Jefe, man? You still up in the building. So what's your take on the heavyweight division, bro? What's your take on the heavyweight division?
On who I think is the best or the matchups that are going on?
The matchups that are going on right now. We talking about upcoming fights, the Wilder, Ortiz, and Joshua Ruiz.
Start off with the give us your take on Wilder and Ortiz.
I think Wilder's gonna spark out Ortiz in less than 6 rounds, and I think he's gonna do it in a brutal fashion. Ortiz is just too old. He's done, in my opinion. His reflex look gone, his speed looks gone. He looks heavier, and I think Wilder's just hitting his peak right now. He's gonna knock him out.
Okay. I hear you. I was watching the face-off, bits and pieces of the face-to-face between him in the build-up to the second fight. And you know what threw me off? I don't want no face-off with Wilder wearing glasses, shades, and Luis Ortiz looking down to the table all the time, every time he speaks. It seemed like Luis Ortiz was looking down at the table when he was answering the question, and Wilder had shades. I think it takes from a bit of the intensity. You know what I mean? They were showing major respect for each other. And I just know that in respects and build up to the fight, I don't have to see these two guys degrade or berate each other. But I do want to see an intense workout, and I do want to see, intense face-off, intense discussion, and I do want to see actually maybe a smidgen of the competitive nature that we're going to foresee in the ring, in the face-off. You know what I'm saying? So, but it seems like they was being kind of a little too nice to each other in the face-off. That's just my take on it. Did you see the face-off between them, El Jefe?
No, I haven't seen it. I don't even know where to find that shit.
You see,
where's it on?
You can see bits, clips of them. Like, it's 2 separate clips on YouTube right now. So you can go to the Wilder Ortiz 2 face-off, and they would.
Is it me or the promotion for this fight is kind of like it's not good at all? for it to be a pay-per-view, like this fight has no buzz, man. It's like, who the fuck's gonna buy this fucking fight?
It's not just you.
No one really wants to see it. No one cares to see this fight. No one is.
But at least they could put it on free TV. These motherfuckers put it on pay-per-view.
Hey, that's them, man. I agree with you. I agree. You shouldn't have to pay $75. I mean, come on, man. I'm going to my community page right now. Just to piggyback off what you said, Hefe. All right, look, we're gonna check this from December 1st, 2018 to November 23rd, 2019. All right. Wilder Fury, $75. Pacquiao Thurman, $75. Spence Garcia, $75. Pacquiao Broner, $75. Spence Porter, $75. Wilder Ortiz 2, $75. Showtime subscription, $150. A total of $600. That's just one person. That's just one person. Put that 600,000 times.
$600 for one person, or you mean for one?
For one person. One
BBC.
person. So 6, 9. That's $1,200 in this channel right now.
One person as far as the boxing fan. I got you.
One person that pays for all the fights and the subscription. So basically, Showtime and PBC made $1,200 off of us 3 if we was doing that. That's $1,200 right there. Easy. I mean, no, not $1,200, $1,900. Excuse my math. It's $1,900 easy.
I hear you.
2 G's off of 3 people. Easy work. And y'all got over what? A couple 100,000 of people paying $600? Come on, man. You do the math.
Man. I agree with you 100%. I don't believe I can't backtrack on what I've said, and I've said it multiple times, that as Jim Gray said it at the end of this last fight between Wilder and Dominic Brazil, that many people are not interested in the Ortiz and Wilder fight. and I am one of them. I do believe the Ruiz Joshua fight is perhaps the most anticipated fight of the year since the first fight went down. Arsenal Maniac, what's up? Peace and pugilism. We all know what's been said about Wilder and the level of competition and people looking for him to step up outside of Fury. And so we're again just waiting on that. I do believe when he does in the PBC, Al Heyman, the whole group does say, okay, let's get ready for a banger. I think people will get off of Wilder's back a little bit and give him the opportunity to really show improve if he has improved. Mm-hmm. So, but it's not happening with this fight coming up. I'm not going to denigrate, do the fight. It's a business, and they're conducting their business as they think they should or see fit. But I agree with you, Hefe. I'm one of those two is not too excited on seeing the fight, but I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to watch it for sure, just so I can give a proper breakdown, and may go blow by blow. I don't know, but hey, you're not alone, bro. I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, ain't nobody finna pay for that. I mean, except the diehard Wilder fans, they gonna pay for it. But Terrell Knox commented again, saying Luis Ortiz is the boogeyman of the heavyweight division. He's been ducked throughout his whole career and is still dangerous. But Wilder is the most dangerous man in boxing. He'll stop him in 3 rounds. I agree with you that he'll stop him in 3 rounds. I said the fight.
I agree with you on the last sentence.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But man, when he was offered $7 million to fight Anthony Joshua at MSG, and he said, "Nah, I don't want 7. Y'all got to give me 10." And he finna take probably another 2 to fight Wilder. So he turned down 7 to take 1.5 or 2. That don't sound like no boogeyman to me.
Well, for what I heard, they said it was going to give Ortiz like $8 million for this fight.
So if they give Ortiz $8 million, that means they giving Wilder like damn near 20.
No, that doesn't mean that.
So when he 12, 10 or 12, he got to get more than Ortiz. He got to get more.
We don't know it's disclosed, but it's many people believe that there was some interference that prevented Ortiz from fighting AJ.
Right.
For being a replacement for the AJ.
Right.
Especially when Jarrell Miller popped positive for PEDs. And it was a big fuss over that the team behind Ortiz interfered, and Ortiz was highly upset. And so we don't know, just the rumors going around that they're going to have to make that up to Ortiz. So there's rumors saying that Ortiz is supposed to get 7 or 8 million for this fight. And because he was offered 7 to 8 million for the AJ fight, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, from what I heard, this rumor saying that he's supposed to get 7 or 8 million for this fight, Luis Ortiz, with Wilder. So I don't know what Wilder's going to make. I have no clue. But if he makes 20 million, then good for him. But I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have another comment by Jamaican Boxing, and these are the only ones that are pretty much Jamaican Boxing and Terrell Knox are the only ones that's coming up with questions that's giving us something to really discuss about. But AJ and White ducked Ortiz for ages. Only Wilder wants that smoke. Now, everybody's saying that Dillian White needed to fight Luis Ortiz, and if he would have fought Luis Ortiz, that would have gave him the Wilder fight. I respectfully disagree. I feel that even if Dillian White would have fought Luis Ortiz and beat him, he still would be basically avoided like the plague. It doesn't matter. And I think that's just something that they're holding on to. And mind you, Luis Ortiz is not even ranked top 10 in the WBC. He's ranked top 10 in the WBO. He's number 8 in the WBO. He's not even ranked in the WBC top 10. So, Dillian White is ranked number 1 in WBC.
Good point. And also, I don't believe AJ personally was ever ducking Ortiz. I think AJ was belt hunting. And after he got his hands on the third belt, after he got his hands on the WBO, IBF, and the WBA, he wanted that WBC. And we all know that's the fight he wanted to make. Okay, we all know he made attempts to make that fight.
Mm-hmm.
The 15 million, the 120 million deal that was proposed to Wilder. AJ been on a quest to be undisputed.
That's what it is.
And Luis Ortiz is not going to help anybody become undisputed. Facts.
Okay. Well, El Jefe, we got to cut you out. We got to continue the show.
Appreciate you, El Jefe.
Thank you for sliding on, but we got to keep moving forward with the show. Thank you for coming on, man. Shout out to El Jefe, man. Thank you for coming through, bro.
Peace and pugilism, bro. Gracias, hermano.
So, with that being said, with the AJ situation, who do you got coming up with this Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, the Destroyer versus the Great? Who you got?
Anthony the Great versus Andy the Destroyer. Who do I have? I don't know right now, bro. It's too soon to say. I know this is just going to be epic. This is going to be epic.
I'm going with AJ, and I can tell you why I'm going with AJ. At first, I was like, I don't know. And feel free, if you want to chime in, to give us your take on who do you think will win out of the AJ Ruiz fight. Feel free to chime in. I'm putting the link in the comment section. So if you would like to give us your take on who you think will win this fight upcoming, feel free to come in and give us your opinion. We'll give you some time in the segment to give us your take on the prediction. What's up, Babs? If you want to give us your take, man, here's the link. Come on in, man. You got your
Babs
boy
McKenzie.
Come on, man. Come on in. You got your boy Double M, Myra Magnus, and DT3, man. Come on, man. Come holla at your host.
Hit the like button, beautiful spirits. We got 83 in here. Can we get up to 75, please?
Can we get 75?
We appreciate it.
86 now. Can we get up to 75, please? I'm going with AJ. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going with AJ. And I got AJ in the landslide. If it goes 12 rounds, I'm hypothetical. If it goes 12 rounds, I got AJ winning it unanimously. No split, unanimously winning it. If it goes 12. But based on what I'm seeing and hearing, I got AJ getting him out of there in 8. I got him getting him out of there in 8. I got
for real.
I'm not going to say 6 through 8. I'm going to go on the limit. Says AJ stops Andy Ruiz in round 8. He hurts him in 6, gets him out of there in 8. What you got? What you got, man? What you got?
I ain't gonna go into what I actually got. First, before I get into my shit, let me say peace out to Red Glove Militant, Peace and Pugilism. We got Toby. We got John Cable in the house. Peace and Pugilism. We got Brain Donor in the house. Sergio Gomez in the house. Peace and Pugilism. The Cali 1987. Peace and Pugilism. Babs McKenzie. Peace and Pugilism to you. Muhammad Ali, the Governor. Peace and Pugilism to you. Brown Gone 1. Peace and Pugilism to you. Man, Bukar Abdullahi, peace and pugilism to you. And also Chris Dolan, last but not least, peace and pugilism to you. And Suleiman, peace and pugilism to you. El Mario, peace and pugilism. Okay.
We got some people that going both ways. We got AJ round 10. We got 2 people say AJ round 10. We got 1 person saying Andy Ruiz gets him out of there in 5 rounds. I mean, it's all over the place, Double M. It's all over.
Batshit crazy. Peace and pugilism to you. I see you in the comments. One love, sir. Toby Bartlett. If I ain't say your name, Toby Bartlett. Here he is. Peace and pugilism to you. He said he put AJ, I don't care how. LOL. Let's get it down like this. You know they say styles make fights. I don't 100% agree, but I do believe Nery's stature. AJ has stated in the past that stature, Nery's stature, the shorter fighters, should I say, the shorter fighters has given him a little bit of problems in the past. Mm-hmm. So he actually spoke on that right after the Povetkin fight. Mm-hmm. Now, I think, again, styles make fights as far as people saying Andy Ruiz styles all wrong for AJ. I think it's all wrong because AJ hasn't had the familiarity with it as he has with taller fighters, what he used to. Once his familiarity gets better, fighting against shorter fighters, compact, those who come in hookers, fast hookers, it's going to get better. Equated to the Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier fight. Who won the first matchup?
Frazier won the first one.
That's right. Frazier won it. Similar status to a Ruiz. Not as heavy, but shorter, lungier with the hooks, faster, keep coming after you. And Muhammad Ali was, of course, boom, 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 keeping him off with the jab, 1-2 and moving. Now, AJ has a more aggressive nature to him.
Yes.
So I don't see him dancing, floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee for the whole fight.
Me neither.
But AJ do have to be wise and stay out that fucking kitchen sink. Part of my language. First time I swore. He better stay out that kitchen sink and don't get in there too soon. He does have to pepper. He has to be calculated, choose the right times to drop his bombs, preferably the right or uppercut right or right hook. You know what I'm saying? Left hook. And he could do it because he did what no other fighter did before him. That was put Ruiz on his butt. Ruiz, on the other hand, Ruiz has the psychological advantage by being the winner of the first fight. And that gives him the favor in that sense. But he doesn't have the element of surprise anymore. He lost that. And also, I do believe him poking at Joshua has him wanting Joshua to respond, and Joshua has not responded. So I think that psychological edge can shift back to Joshua because he has now more the element of surprise on him. So I'm right now, at this moment, I'm saying it's 50-50. Yeah, at this moment.
You divide.
Now, leading up to the fight, I'm going to give my prediction.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all heard that first. Y'all heard it first on DT-Magnus 1-on-1. We're gonna do a DT-Magnus show, and we gotta get Myron's actual prediction. Y'all got mine.
Yes. A week leading up to the fight, I'm giving my outright prediction.
Okay.
My heart right now, my mind, my heart, I ain't gonna leave front. My heart right now gives it to AJ. My mind, just because Ruiz won the first one, give a bit to Ruiz. But that seemed to be flip-flopping right now. It seemed to be flip-flopping.
It's all over.
My heart says AJ's gonna come in like Super Saiyan freaking Ultra Instinct on this cat.
Right.
Super Saiyan 3, hairy as fuck. I don't think he's going to cut his hair coming into this match. He's going to be dancing. He's going to be sweating before he even jump in that goddamn ring. You know what I mean? But he's going to have a little nerves too. He might have a little bit of residue from the first fight. But he's going about this right. Silence is golden. And Ruiz is doing what he's going to do. Keep picking at him. And we're going to see who comes out on top. But, Ruiz also still has the speed advantage in close quarters because he's shorter arms. So his punch is going to get to the button quicker than AJ. So that's what I think when AJ wants to get in, he has to come with conviction, come in powerful with conviction. You know what I'm saying? Like he did the first time. When he does hurt Ruiz, because I think he will hurt Ruiz, do not get too hasty. Be more focused, be more disciplined, and take his time. And just weigh on him. Because I still do believe Joshua is going to be the stronger out the two. He can lean on him, blase, but he just has to be calculated. And Ruiz has maybe the speed, and he has the confidence from winning the first fight. I honestly think Joshua is the stronger puncher.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua is the more powerful puncher than Ruiz, but speed kills. Hand speed, that is. So it's just going to be exciting. Give me what you think, and we can. And if Babs want to step in a little bit and see what she got to say.
She said you're doing live commentary fight night.
You goddamn right, I'm doing blow by blow.
And I'm going live after. So it's going to be a DT-Magnus live segment after the fight.
Blow by blow, baby.
So we're going to have Myron Magnus doing the blow by blow. And then after the fight, come on down, because it's going to be a DT-Magnus post-fight review.
That's going to be a boxing brew all night. I'm going to be drunk, excited, but still sharp as hell. I'm going to go crazy on that blow by blow.
It's late night, so it's open. Late nights, we taking it all. Turn up. We got double infinity giving out shots to everybody. But my take is I'm going with AJ. He's knocking out Andy Ruiz round 8. He's getting him out of there round 8. He's stopping him, and I'm gonna tell you why. But not just the fact that Anthony Joshua lost the weight prior to camp. That is not just the only reason. My other reason is who was in camp with AJ. Okay, AJ has Derek Chisora as a sparring partner, and he also has Andrew Tabiti. So I know
Chisora.
Who is Andrew Tabiti? Didn't he just get knocked out? Blah blah. Let me give y'all some boxing knowledge real fast, okay?
Give it to him, DT.
Chisora as a means, because Chisora is a bigger body than Andy Ruiz, and their styles are similar. So Chisora is gonna come in with that forward wing and ding, big body style, come forward style, right? Now we already know Chisora ain't faster than Andy Ruiz. We know that, right? But he's stronger than Andy Ruiz. He hits harder than Andy Ruiz. Where he makes up with the speed department is where Andrew Tabiti comes in, who is a pure boxer, and he fast. He light on his feet. He's going to move around. He's going to make AJ work when AJ don't want to work. So the stamina issue should be non and void. Should be no reason for AJ to be winded this fight whatsoever. So
you say Tabiti is a cruiserweight, right?
And Tabiti is a cruiserweight. So we're picking up with the speed is with Tabiti. He's getting the strength and the pressure from Chisora. And when you put them two together, I see that's how he's going to beat him. There's nothing that Andy Ruiz is going to do fight night that he is not prepared for. Nothing.
Absolutely, because preparation is key for a fight. It's how you prepare and get ready for that fight. And when I heard War Chisora is in there, and I know I can see Anthony Joshua, because we all know Anthony Joshua and Chisora got a great friendship, good relationship. So I can see Chisora loves Joshua. You know what I mean? Got major respect for him, and he's one of his biggest supporters. And I know Chisora want Joshua to get those belts back, without a doubt. You know what I mean? He want UK, and peace to the UK. He want UK back in the mix and controlling the direction of the heavyweight division. So I know Chisora is going to push Anthony Joshua big time. Chisora is going to push Anthony Joshua. And also, speaking of Chisora, he's done broke the rankings. He's done broke into the rankings, I believe, in the WBC. I think he came in ranked 9. So we also got to wonder if Chisora soon may be an opponent for Wilder. And I called for that. Soon as he beat that fight, soon as he beat, oh boy, I said, I want to see Chisora versus Wilder. I want to see it, bro. I think that'd be an electric fight for both men.
What's going on? We'd like to welcome D. Jefferson back to the panel. Welcome back to the show, D.
Jefferson came back. D. Jefferson, I thought you was gone. He came back.
Came back. What's going on, D?
I had to run to the store and get one of what you got there. You know what I mean? No, but Boone, I agree with you, bro. I just did a video. I just did a video on the Tabiti and Joshua. Yeah, Chisora for that right hand, that overhand right, because he like to throw that. So that gives him good practice on defense. But Tabiti is a bigger cruiserweight, but he has hand speed. This dude hand speed is lightning quick. And I just did a video. I just dropped a video making some of those same points. So yeah, shout out to you, bro, because I agree with that.
You know,
was a
also
smart move.
I
You know, man.
want to tell people to also I want to give a special shout out to D Jefferson because and IBFP because I was on IBFP's live stream watching just the other day. I didn't watch it when it was live, but I watched it after it was live, and I heard it first from your boy D Jefferson right here in the chat, letting everybody know that Andrew Tabiti is in camp with Anthony Joshua. So that's how I even got that information in the first place was because of your boy D Jefferson, man. Thank you, D Jefferson, for that input.
Oh yeah, no doubt, dog. That's how we do. We build off each other. You know what I mean? I always tell everybody go check me out. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna give you nothing false. Go
Hey.
do the research on what I tell you.
And please do that, beautiful spirits.
Feel free,
Pugilist
go
Fanatics,
subscribe.
go
Take
check
that.
out D Jefferson. Go check out his channel.
Speaking Mind Sports Talk.
He and the brother is sharp. His knowledge is beastie.
I appreciate that, bro.
He got that goods for you.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk. D Jefferson, you sharp as hell, sharp as a tack.
I appreciate that.
And
before we end up at the end of the show, we got to talk about who do you
at the end of this show.
Who do you
we
think?
Gotta give 45 minutes more for Babs to get off.
Well, Babs, I didn't already send Babs the link, and
Babs is at work. She said she got 20 minutes before she get off work. So
okay,
you try to rush off? We got 2 hours.
We gonna wait for Babs. We gonna wait for Babs. But I gotta know, who do you think? Because we already know the IBF and the WBO belts is getting vacated. There ain't no getting around that. Belts is getting vacated. So who do you think Pulev is gonna fight for the belts? Who do you think Usyk is gonna fight for the belts?
First off,
Usyk's are the mandatory.
First off, I only think one of them gonna get vacated.
Mm-hmm.
I think whoever win that fight, they gonna choose which one they gonna defend, which mandatory they gonna defend. I don't think both of them gonna get snatched up like that. Mark my words on it.
Mm-hmm. Which one do you think has the which one do you think has the more likely of a chance to get snatched up, the IBF or the WBO?
You would think the WBO, since it's the least respected, I would think that they would fight for the IBF belt and just let the WBO go. But then you would have to look at one thing I don't know is what the amount of sanctioning fees are on those 2 belts. So you best believe the one that you got to pay more for, that one got to go. That's how I think they're gonna do it. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what the sanctioning fees are. I'm sure they're close to these sanctioning bodies trying to collect close to the same amount of money. But I would imagine that the WBO fees are less. And since the belt is less respected, I would imagine that their fees are less. And they'll probably dump that belt and defend the IBF title.
Let's not dump on the WBO. They're just as expected. They're world sanctioning bodies too, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's just that the fact that when the corruption was at an all-time high for the WBC and the WBA, it was the IBF that stepped in to kind of spin things around. So just the age of the belts, you know what I mean? WBA first, WBC second, then the IBF coming in to kind of try to solve all of the corruption and get those guys in place. Right. That's what the respect level is about. Not the disrespect to me. I think if a sanctioned body do what they're supposed to do, then they can. Why shouldn't they be as respected as the next? But I'm just saying by the age of the belts and everything else.
The seniority.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to IBO. Let's give a shout out to the IBO. They're trying to make their way to become a major.
IBO need to be more respected.
Well, they got to get off. I'm gonna tell you the first thing they're gonna have to do is get off that damn computerized system of ranking they have. That's what a lot of people got a beef with. They got a computerized system of ranking, so kind of throws things out of whack. So people don't really respect their ranking system. Right. So when they get that in order, maybe they'll catch more respect.
What do you think about here, D?
My bad. And I just want to say this. Even though I say shout out to the IBO and everything, that's just out of respect. Right. I don't think we need any more goddamn belts or any more bodies.
Yeah, that's a fact.
We don't need any more. You know what I mean? So, hey, respect to your IBO. Props. If you do what you do, all love. But honestly, I think we need to cut back on the sanctioning bodies. That's just my personal take on that.
I tell you like this, bro. You look at the money the zone is dumping into their investments and such, right? I wish I could get my hand on like 500 million because an idea of mine, I was thinking like for creating a network and all of that, just create a belt, right? You got all of these fighters this new age that's on a money chase, right? So you do like a basic standard for the belt, 5 million. I would say 5 million. First you would have to attack the more popular divisions, like the welterweight division, middleweight, heavyweight. You understand what I'm saying? 5 million, and then 3 million for a title defense. Flat fee. Any contender coming to get that belt, they get 2 million. You know what I mean? To compete for that belt, and then they get an additional 3 million if they win that belt. Man, you start doing that, and then that will knock out a lot because look, it kills like to me, it kills the idea of the money chase, and it kills the idea of all of these, ranking systems. Forget about that, bro. If you think you the man, you can beat the
because
man.
they're
Right. You think you the man, you can beat the man. You have just this belt and you put on the fan friendly fights. It's no ranking system, none of that determine it. The fans determine who goes after that belt. These guys are going to chase that money, bro. They're going to chase that bag. I can guarantee you that. You offer that belt up for a flat fee.
Yeah.
Man, that would be great. It's just an idea. It's a whole lot more logistics you have to work out behind that. But that's just an overall idea because you look at the average boxer, man, they're not getting $5-10 million a fight. They're just not getting it.
No.
You offer these flat fees like that.
And also the jab on that, I said this yesterday or the day before. I said I do believe we need a WBSS World Boxing Super Series for the middleweight, all the divisions, middleweight up.
Shit, I would do better than that, bro. I'm with you there. I would go from lightweight all the way up, all the way to the top, and make it mandatory. Like make it mandatory. If you hold the belt and they run the damn tournament, make that shit mandatory. Like you gotta defend your belt in that tournament.
Honest, but I think the first priority, let's have a WBSS for the middleweight division.
Yeah.
WBSS for the heavyweight division. The sport needs undisputed champions right now.
Yeah. Welterweight too, bro.
Like welcome my boy from back in the day, my brother from another mother.
What's
we go
up,
back
man?
like flats on the Cadillac. You know what I'm talking about? I've been doing this since I was like 11 years old, man. Shout out to my boy Toy Lemons, man, in the field.
What's up with you, Tay? What's going on?
What's up? Peace and pugilism, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see we talking about boxing today, huh? Hell yeah, man. But yeah, man, like the problem with like the WBA, WBO, as we see with the WBC is like, the WBC, I've always been a fan of that boxing belt. But the problem is like this shit, the franchise champion, the Colorado ball, and I've defended the WBC forever. I always was like, oh, that's the best belt. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always had the idea, the WBC got the greatest champions, all that, this and that. But this type of stuff with all these super and regular champions, and you got fighters, and it's just like it's too many champions. It's like you got 4 different dudes that are all champions. You know what I'm saying?
It creates total chaos, the mass confusion.
Yeah.
And this is like that's where the confusion comes from because you got WBA or WBO, they got the regular champ, they got the super champ, they got the champion intermission, and it's like that's the problem. Like with boxing, they need to you can have 4. I ain't gonna lie, I like the idea of having 4 different belts because it's like okay, you got it gives different fighters different opportunities. You know what I'm saying? To get into the rankings and win titles. But the issue is what it is. It's too many champions. And it needs to just be like one champion, and that's it, in each belt weight class. So it don't be like, you have a million fights, and oh, this guy's the champion, or this dude won the belt, or this guy won the belt, And that's the issue with it, what I see with a lot, the WBA, WBO, and the WBC. You know what I'm saying? Like, too many champions, man.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead. My bad,
I'll tell you something else, Troy. I heard you mention the clenbuterol situation.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at this clenbuterol situation, and see, this is the thing. It's so many different facets of the politics in boxing, right? When you look at the clenbuterol situation, that actually the problem with that started with water, bro. Not even now. You gotta understand that promoters and sanctioning bodies are gonna manipulate the system. So basically,
Yeah.
whatever is allowed. So WADA is basically like VADA is a independent doping agency, right?
Yeah.
WADA sets the stipulations though. It's their
Yeah.
regulations, and that's what
Yeah.
VADA goes by. So it was WADA initially that said that a certain amount of clenbuterol was going to be allowed in the system
Yeah.
because of the Mexican meat. So then
Yeah.
this just allows these sanctioning bodies to manipulate that ruling and that regulation. And that's
Yeah.
why you got so many different facets when it comes to the politics in boxing, why we don't get these fights or all this bullshit is thrown in.
Yeah.
And they, you know, and I'm not defending WBC because
Oh
they
no,
all
not at all.
trash.
No, no.
They all trash to me for real. But
Yeah.
when you look at the clenbuterol situation, it started from WADA because if WADA doesn't allow a certain amount of clenbuterol to be in these boxing system, then they can't even manipulate the system that way. You know what I mean? Because none means none, period. But you start opening these doors, and it's just like any fucking legal courtroom. They're gonna use every loophole they can to get inside with it.
Absolutely. Hey, respect to the people in the chat. Let's watch our language, but peace and pugilism too. First of all, let's shout out peace and pugilism to Candy Crush. Peace and pugilism to Malai 2244. Peace and pugilism to D Hodges. Peace and pugilism to Mando Solo. Shout outs to Cider Man Stuff. Shout out to Idel Perez. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You want to give everybody Ifani Zeke. Shout out to everybody. We're nothing without our fans. Thank you for sharing with us. And that's where it's at. If I forgot your name, it's all love. Keep on going, fellas.
Yeah.
So, what did y'all think about Inoue's performance, man, against Donaire?
Man, fantastic, bro. I did blow by blow on that thing. I got my ass up that morning, and I did a blow by blow on that fight. And I'm gonna tell you something. The dude proved a lot
Yeah, he showed
to me.
dimensions.
Yeah, he did. He showed adjustments. He showed dimensions. He also showed grit and heart because he'd never been cut like that before.
Nah,
He got his nose mashed up real good. He got hurt in that fight, but he still prevailed. He came through and prevailed.
You talking about Inoue?
Yeah, monster.
Donaire.
And then
He showed monster heart, bro.
yeah, and so Donaire showed him that look, every fight you get in, you're not just gonna be able to come in here and beat guys up. But Inoue showed that he could do it through deep waters, you know. So he showed me a lot. All of these exposed narratives. I don't see how you're exposed by a fighter like Donaire.
Yeah.
Even if he loses to Donaire, that's not being exposed. This is Nonito Donaire. He's never lost a fight at that weight. That's what people don't understand.
He
like what,
defeated that bantamweight.
Right, he started losing when he moved up in weight, but at that weight, he totally dominated. You know what I mean? And so people have to take that into account. And this is not a guy that you just come in there and have your way with. No, he showed that you're gonna have to figure this out, and Inoue figured it out. So I think it was a fantastic fight on Donaire's part. He showed that even though I'm older, I'm still here. You know what I mean? I think that I said earlier when I was talking to Myron and DT3 that I believe Nonito Donaire beats Zolani Tete or Obali. I think he beats both of them. So it was a great fight, man.
If anything was exposed with Inoue, was that he could swim in deep waters.
For sure.
Yeah.
If anything was exposed of him, it was that he had championship heart and grit, because he got rocked in that 9th round.
He hurt him, man.
He did. He took them right straight hands on the chin.
and he fought through it. So
he did.
What can get exposed by him besides that?
It's called, what it is like, as you go up levels in boxing, man, and you start fighting better opponents, it's going to be tougher fights. You're not going to just walk through world champions like Nonito Donaire, cats, and that's where, sometimes people, they like, oh, he looked like a bum tonight. I'm like, he looked like a bum. It's higher levels. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to the game. And as you fight tougher opponents, it's going to be tougher. You're not going to just walk through guys. And he put on put on a good performance, man. You know, and I mean, he showed dimensions like he can box for 12 rounds. He
Yeah,
can do
right.
this for 12 rounds. He can do this and that. And he showed grit because, you know, I mean, Donaire, like y'all said at 118, he was a nightmare.
A nightmare.
He
You
showed
know, if
he
it gets,
showed
yeah,
he
go
showed a
ahead.
lot of weight transition, and he was transitioning weight well, man. A lot of
Yeah.
times guys step out and step in like that and they lose their feet. But he showed that he could transition that weight well. But one thing that was
Yeah.
really significant in that fight is that Monster Inoue power will carry up.
Yeah, as he goes up
That's
weight.
something that people gotta understand. That power will transition. It will definitely transition. I
Yeah.
think he's good. I will say he's solid for 122. I would be remiss to say what he'll do at 126 because that's two weight classes. But when he moves to 122, I say that he's going to be solid with that power.
Hey,
Yeah.
and D, switch gears. Let's get back to the heavyweights. What's
All right.
your predictions on the Joshua and the Ruiz joint? How you see this fight? That's what we want to get on these heavyweights. Okay? This is where we at.
Yeah.
We want to stay on the heavyweights right now. The last 30.
All right. You want to go with that? You want to go with that first, bro, or you want me to jump in there? It don't matter.
It could be Wilder or Ortiz, or you want to start
Whatever.
with Joshua.
Okay, I'm gonna start with Wilder Ortiz then.
How
Then
Yeah.
how you feel Usyk's going to impose and
Wilder, Wilder Ortiz. I start off with that one. First thing, I'm not watching that fight, bro. That fight don't interest me at all. And I'm gonna tell you just like this: Wilder is gonna stop Ortiz earlier and easier than he did in that first fight. I don't see that fight going past 5 or 6, and Wilder's gonna slump him, right over. Um, no interest in that fight. I watched the playback. As far as Usyk is concerned, I think that his skill set will allow him to compete with any one of these top heavyweights. What I don't know is I'm still not convinced with his punch resistance and what he can offer to deter these guys.
Okay.
Skill wise, he can't compete because he's highly skilled, and to me he's more skilled than the rest. Maybe Tyson Fury, you could make an argument.
I agree.
But Usyk can compete with these guys. It's just questions about Usyk. Concerning AJ and Ruiz, I haven't picked a round yet. I got AJ winning by knockout. I believe he's going to come take his belts back. But I just haven't picked a round and which round he's going to stop Ruiz. If it's going to be like mid rounds, 6 or 7, or late rounds, like maybe 9 or 10, something. I'm gonna probably go somewhere with one of those picks.
Okay.
Man, it's 74 people, well, 75 people in the building, only 47 likes, man. Can we get 50 likes, man? 50
No,
plus,
we got 78. We need to get over 80.
78. Well, man, we only got 40 likes, man. Get the likes up. Get the likes
Yeah,
up.
I hear y'all.
Let's get on these heavyweights up. So, which
All
you
right.
pick, Toy?
Ruiz and Joshua. I've been going back and forth with it. But I think Ruiz, round 8. It's just Ruiz style, man, and the hand speed.
That's a good switch. No, that's nothing wrong with it. That's a good
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. You know, I think Ruiz in the 8th. Yeah, I got Ruiz in the 8th. But Joshua is just, I don't know, man. Because, like, the thing about, I've noticed in heavyweight boxing, when rematches happen, and usually the heavyweight, the champion, that was the, heavyweight champion in the rematch, usually when they lose, they usually win the second fight. You look at Lennox Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lennox Lewis is a great example of that. You look at Vladimir Klitschko. You look at Vitaly Klitschko. You know what I'm saying?
Ali didn't lose his second to Frazier, though.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Lennox didn't lose his second to, although
Frazier won the better boxer, though. Ali was the superior boxer, so the second fight favors the boxer. So Ali really, logically, traditionally shouldn't have lost that fight.
Yeah. But, I'm taking Ruiz to the 8th. Ortiz and Wilder, I'm going to be in the building. I'm one of the biggest Deontay Wilder fans. Tay will tell you. No bullshit. I ain't going to front. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be in the building for that fight. But I think Wilder Ortiz, I think it's going to be harder than what people think. I know some people thinking Wilder just going to blow Ortiz out the water. I don't know. And I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan. You know what I'm saying? No fronting, no faking. I'm going to be at the fight in Vegas, live, whatever, watching it. But the thing is, I just think Luis Ortiz, man, he's a tougher customer than
Your volume. Can y'all hear him?
I heard him. I already know. I told y'all who I'm picking. I'm picking AJ in 8. You know, so basically, I already see the holes in Ruiz's game. Ruiz is gonna be basically kept behind the jab the whole night. He's gonna be on the end of all the 1-2s. He's gonna be catching a lot of uppercuts coming down the pipe. I don't see Andy Ruiz if Andy Ruiz had angles, like real hard angles, a part of his game, then I will be a little more pressed with that. But with the fact that Andy Ruiz is just a straight line fighter, you don't see him really putting angles on. Plus, it's hard for a big man to do that. I just don't see him really doing nothing special.
I think that's why he lost a little bit of weight for this fight. He lost.
So
he could do 8 pounds.
utilize
Some
it.
people think that's going to hurt his punch resistance.
That's what I think. I think that it's going to be. I think this is going to be effective because see, like I tell people this: when you got guys that are in shape, and you know, sort of they're not the biggest guys. They're kind of smaller, but they're in shape. It's the muscle that they put on to protect those organs. You got muscles all in your jaw and shit that you put on. But when you have somebody that lose weight, they're not as toned and muscular as these guys that's already built that way. So their punch resistance is going to be different. With all of that girth and that goo and flubber, hey man, that was Andy Ruiz's way. He been fighting like that, you know.
And you know what? Real talk, to just add on to what you're saying, I think Andy Ruiz Jr.'s punch resistance in the first fight shocked Joshua. I think it shocked Joshua because Joshua was throwing some heavy bombs, and Andy Ruiz, he took him good, and he was coming back. He was hurt. He said he was hurt a few times in that fight, but he fought through it. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, man, he gonna hit. He takes hook like he took in that first fight, and he lost all of that weight like that, man. I think that's gonna seriously rock him much more than it did in that first fight. That's why I'm not really. I know it's still heavyweights, but that's why I'm not really that confident with Ruiz and Wilder because, man, AJ put him down. Wilder putting him out. And one thing we know about Wilder, he finds a way to get that right hand in there. Ruiz ain't no defensive specialist.
He didn't put Fury out.
Yeah, but Fury's a different animal. Ruiz is no defensive specialist, so we can assume that Wilder gonna get that hand in there.
Yeah,
he get that hand in there, man. I like Ruiz. I just think he lays him slam out, bro.
And he's 20 years younger.
Yeah. Ortiz, how you say on Coming to America? Ortiz, 176 years old. That's gonna be Wilder.
Everybody keeps saying how Ortiz is such a threat and he the boogeyman and all that.
That dude finished.
I can't get with that. You know what I mean? Because before Ortiz fought, who was it? Brian Jennings, but nobody talking about Ortiz. Who was Ortiz before the Brian Jennings fight? Who was this guy?
Honestly, I don't think Ortiz beat like a Dillian White. Maybe
not in shape Dillian White.
In shape Dillian White. Not I mean, I think even a guy like Derek Chisora give him problems. And the reason I say that is because of the pressure. You know, you look at these last two fights Luis Ortiz had, neither of those guys are any more of a threat than a Derek Chisora, and probably would be less of a threat because of power. So Derek Chisora get inside of there with Ortiz and start pressuring him like that. Like, he has a problem with Derek Chisora. I think, you know, I would probably pick White over him. Wilder's going to sleep this man. Dog. I mean, I understand that he's fundamentally sound when it comes to the sleep science, and he is. I'll give him that. Most Cuban fighters, they're fundamentally sound, but dude, that dude aged every day since he was drooling on the canvas in that first fight. He's aged every single day. Well, Wilder's going to lay this dude right out.
Hey, DT3.
What's up?
Who would you pick? Luis Ortiz, Derek Chisora?
Chisora?
Yeah.
Emphatic fashion, knockout?
Chisora? I don't think it'd be like dramatic fashion. I think he has the potential to stop Ortiz, but I think because Ortiz does have superior boxing skill, he still got that Cuban style. You still gotta give him respect for having that Cuban style. We all know the Cuban style was basic, pure boxing, like at its finest. So I think if he fights a smart fight and basically tries to you can't drink this. This is pine salt, baby. If he basically fight and keeps him on the end of his jab, like how he fought Wilder the first time, he could make a fight of it, but I think he just won't be able to keep Chisora out his chest for 12 rounds straight.
Toy, what do Toy feel? I can't hear.
Troy having technical difficulties.
He's having technical difficulties, bro.
Yeah, Troy, go out and come back in, bro. That should fix it.
Until you fix it, let me go and say until Toy comes back. I feel afraid for Luis Ortiz versus Chisora. I really feel afraid. Chisora comes in too aggressive, and his motto is knock out or be knocked out.
Yeah, and he's not a guy that, like, traditionally, like, Chisora has a decent chin. Like, you're not just going to knock him out. Exactly. You're not just going to knock him out with one punch. Like, you're going to have to get accumulated punches. So you're not just going to sting this guy and knock him out. Ortiz getting too old for that, man. It's going to be a dog fight, and I don't think in a dog fight Ortiz is going to come out of that. I don't think so, man. Like I said, it's a good fight between them two, but when we start thinking about him and Wilder, like, if it's a good fight with Chisora, Wilder's going to ice that, man. He's going to ice that, man. I'm not even a Wilder fan, but that's just how I see the shit, bro.
Yeah, I think Wilder's going to get Ortiz out of there. I hope not, because I look for the safety of every fighter. I think about that in the back of my head. Rest in power, transcendence of power to Patrick Day. But I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Hugo Stantolin and Maxim Dadashov too, man. R.I.P. to them brothers, bro. They all lost their lives in the ring this year. You know.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Actually, we can hear you loud and clear now, bro.
All right, my bad. Just,
hit the like button, beautiful spirits, please.
Feel free, man. It's over 80 people in the building, man. We should have over 100 likes at this point of the stream.
We need 100 likes.
Yeah, where y'all at about it? What y'all was talking about? I bounced out.
We still own the Wilder Joshua. We just talking heavyweight boxing, period, man. We not heavyweight boxer is a part of this.
I mean, Usyk is got the skill set. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. He has an excellent skill set. Him and Lomachenko, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just technically are very good, and they know how to use angles and different directions and footwork and all that. But like D said, the thing about Usyk I worry about is just, like, can he take the power from these bigger heavyweights? Can he take it from guys like Chisora? Can he take it from a guy like Dillian White? Can he take it from a guy like Wilder on the chin? You know what I'm saying? And the size advantage.
Question: Usyk versus Chisora. Who do you got?
Usyk. I got Usyk taking him.
Usyk, if he can keep Chisora, like y'all said, off of him, but if Chisora can get in the inside, it might be crazy.
Chisora's too sloppy for Usyk, though. That's the thing, man. He's too sloppy and he's way too defensively irresponsible. Like, Usyk doesn't have to have this one punch knockout, but he'll pepper Chisora up so much. By the time 9 or 10 come, Chisora will be gassed out, and Usyk will lay his ass flat out, bro. Accumulated punches, bro. Accumulated punishment is what will happen in that fight.
Right, D.
Well, Khalil says that Fax Ortiz is leaps and bounds better than Chisora.
Yeah, I won't argue with him on the skill set. My thing is that
I agree. For skill set.
The dog fight is what I'm saying, Khalil, and the fact that Ortiz is aging. And look, his age is showing. It's showing, and after that Wilder fight, if you guys don't see Ortiz's age showing, you blind, bro. It showed in the next 2 fights following that Wilder fight. The age is not getting, any better for this man. So the age.
You tell me I wasted my money, huh? Going to Vegas, go watch.
No. Yeah. I mean,
I am. Yes.
I don't think you wasted your money because every fight Every ever been to a fight, like just the environment, man. It's good. It's fun. I like fights.
Yeah.
I like
It's
ball
going.
games
Yeah,
more,
just
but
being
I
in
like
there.
fights. So just the environment. You don't waste your
Yeah.
money, but I ain't watching it. I'm
Okay,
watching
I
it.
gotta kill this narrative real quick because Kahil, Nebit have been giving me little fits for the longest. I have to kill this narrative. And also I would like D to kill the narrative as well because D is the complete utter narrative killer of all narratives. So basically what I'm saying is he says just because a fighter is old doesn't mean he can't fight. Age affects fighters differently, which is true.
Which
We
is
saw
true.
what B-Hop did. We saw what B-Hop did. So that's
Yeah.
true. It doesn't
To
work
a certain
for
extent.
everybody. I get it. But have that same energy when you're talking about, hey, and I don't want to go elaborate on it. Just keep the same energy when you talk about a Canelo Kovalev fight. When you say those type of things, keep the same energy to all fighters as well. So if
Keep
the
it
fighter is
consistent.
looking to get in there, regardless of his age, stop giving fighters a heap of trouble because of their age. And then you're saying stuff like this because it goes against your favorite fighter. Keep it with all fighters, not just
Yeah.
your.
I
That's
will.
That's
I
true.
will. I will say something about Khalil Neblet. He's very knowledgeable. I go back and forth with Khalil a lot on my channel, and the dude's knowledgeable boxing when it comes to boxing. Khalil just sometimes, bro, you just don't take other things into account. Now I understand what you're saying about Ortiz and everything, but it's things you got to look at, bro. You mentioned the Pac-Man. You mentioned some of the greats that carried on in age. Ortiz ain't great, bro. What the hell has he done? I mean, let's keep everything in perspective here. I do feel that there's boxers that could carry on in age and compete like that. But uh when you talk about a Luis Ortiz and you talk about a Manny Pacquiao, dog, it's almost like apples and oranges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not going to be on the level of greatness first and foremost. He's not going to go down in the history books. That bastard's not even going to make the Hall of Fame. You're talking about a living, active legend in Manny Pacquiao. So and then you have to look at lower weights. Lower weights guys can compete longer. That's just a known fact. These heavyweight guys, you got the few that come back late like that in life. Ortiz ain't no damn Ali. He ain't no damn George Foreman. He's
Right.
not amongst the greats like these guys. So we're
And
not saying that a guy aging means that he's done with. But I'm telling you to use your eyes, brother. Go to his last two fights. You're only as good as they say your last fight. You go to his last two fights after the Wilder fight. The dude is visibly aging. He's losing a step every fight. Now you done lost 3 steps because there's 3 fights in between. He was drooling on the canvas 3 steps ago, bro. He 3 steps lost now. What do you think
no,
gonna happen?
I agree. Yeah. Luis is up
Yeah.
there.
Damn.
But also keep him. Respond with the age thing.
Go ahead, Bo.
40
Go
years
ahead.
old. 40-year-old is a lot different from a 50-year-old. And Luis Ortiz, he is somebody's granddaddy. No real talk. He is somebody's granddaddy. So that's fact. So let me requote what Andrew Garcia said. He said, you see, Hopkins flew out the ring when he fought that dude, whoever he fought, that 50-year-old. Andrew Garcia said Hopkins flew out the ring. Now that was a 50-year-old Hopkins. Now I don't know. Andrew Garcia, of course, was being colorful and maybe a bit exaggerating, but how much was he? And I think 50. If the man is already dealing with high blood pressure, okay, that's telling you that age is catching up, or if it hasn't already caught up. And so it's danger. The older you are fighting, the more dangerous it is, or something traumatic and something permanent happening to you for your health. And it's, again, like he said, it's showing in the ring. And yeah, whatever you said, Asian fighters don't age that way, BS. I can see that with 40-year-old, you still could compete at a pretty good level. But at 50, no. I don't care what his American birth certificate says, because we know that's debunked because how the Cubans is when they defect and all of that. We know this man is 50. Well, you know, from the times where he was in Olympic boxing for the Cuban team, where he was competing then, which was in the 80s. Okay, that gives you some idea of his age. So this man is 50 years old. And he's been competing for a long time.
Okay, I gotta debunk this narrative as well. And Khalil says that that we won't criticize AJ with the same favor. So let me be the first of all people. Let me be the first to say that, yeah, when you say you're only as good as your last fight, that don't literally mean you're literally as good as your last fight. Okay,
because you can fight down to your competition.
You know, so based on what it shows with AJ's last fight is that if he don't take a fight serious, he gonna lose. If he's not really prepared and he don't train properly, he gonna lose. Okay, he not gonna have the stamina. He ain't gonna have the win to go. He gonna lose the fight. But when AJ is focused and he really want who he's finna fight and he's really motivated to fight whoever he set up to fight, he comes in stronger, mentally prepared, physically prepared. Like I said, boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. All right. The same thing with Wilder. Wilder comes into fights basically on that 90% mental part. He already got the physical part down. As long as his mental part is straight, that's why he psychs out most of the fighters that he fight, is because he's so confident that he's gonna knock you the fuck out.
He talk a good game. Absolutely. He talks
so
I
just have to be clear about
that. Bro. And then look, Khalil, and because it's not that we coming down on you, but you gotta understand something, bro. I mean, seriously, you look at Ortiz, and like Boone said, it's not literally your last fight, but I mean, dude, look at his last 3 fights, bro. I mean, the dude Kohan or whatever his name was, this guy was literally a nobody, low-level fighter. So Ortiz was supposed to knock him out, but then you get in there with Kaufman and Christian Hammer. And Christian Hammer's okay, but my thing was let me talk about Kaufman more or less than Hammer, because this was before the Hammer fight. Okay, so he goes 10 rounds with Kaufman. Yes, he stops him. This is only a 10-round fight. He takes the full 10 rounds to stop Kaufman. But this is what you have to understand. Kaufman was stopped in 3 rounds or less by 2 freaking prospects, bro. F.A. Ajagba and Philip Hrgovic stopped him. Ajagba stopped him in 3. Hrgovic stopped him in 2. And it took Ortiz 10 full rounds to stop Kaufman, which means he struggled to stop Kaufman. These are 2 prospects that stopped this dude convincingly, easily, bro. The man is aging. He's not this what we used to think of as a boogeyman or anything close to it. You know, if he was anything close to the fighter he was fighting against Wilder in that first fight, he stops Kaufman in 5 rounds or less. But this shows you here that he's aging. And like I said, just do comparable fights, not the triangle theory, just comparable fights, bro. These are 2 prospects that stopped this man in 3 rounds or less. And that's who he battled with. And then when you look at when you look at the Hammer fight, okay, Hammer's a decent fighter, but he took him the distance. Do you know what Deontay Wilder does to Christian Hammer? He puts the hammer on him and knocks his ass through the ropes. He be looking like Spilka in there. Hammer's too slow. He's easily hit. Wilder's fast. Wilder's not slow. How you think he get that right hand in there? Because he's fast. He will lay Hoffman, slam the fuck out, bro.
All right, we have to
one question. Let me answer that last one to Kamiko X. Also, you say you're only as good as your we say opponent's only as good as their last fighter. I never said that, for one. So how is AJ? First of all, sometimes you're not. It's times where you fight or play down to your competition. Say different sports, or just a different sport. We've used that example in different sports where you fight down to your competition, whereas a certain competitor don't motivate you as much as another competitor. Correct? Now, to answer your question, Kamiko X, give my opinion and perspective. Joshua was not as motivated to fight Andy Ruiz as he was to fight, say, Gerald Miller, and then maybe Ortiz, who had bigger names. You know what I'm saying? Because he at the same time trying to establish his legacy. Also, to be critical of Joshua, I've said many times, I wanted the fight to be in America after the loss. I thought the fight should be here. I thought he lost it here. I thought he should win it back here. I was the first one to make a video that I know of on that. And also, keep in mind, Joshua does have things he need to work on in his camp. Defense being one. He doesn't like to be bull rush. I think that was exposed in his fight versus Joseph Parker. So he had to work on a lot of things Joshua needs to work on, without a fact. But for what he's shown so far in his career and his willingness to fight the best, whoever is available, and to unify, I think he gives benefit of the doubt in a lot of people's minds. You know,
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about that.
To build on that, just real quick, Boone, I know you're ready to switch up, but to build on that, Kamiko, you're talking about old man on his way out the door, and you're talking about a young lion coming up, because that's Ortiz. I mean, Ruiz is young, bro. He's young, fresh, fast. You know, that's a formidable opponent, and it's like the comparison is just off because he's not aging every day. He's going to get better. Ortiz is already peaked out, and he's on the decline. He's not on any incline, bro. And so when you look at those two fights, well, I was just talking about him keeping the same energy. It's not keeping the same energy because it's two totally different situations. You can't say that with AJ because his last fight was against someone who many thought wasn't, that. But that's what you can't do with prospects. I said this to Boom before. With prospects, we don't know. We don't know if they are or if they are not. Everybody feels that Ruiz was robbed in that Parker fight. I mean, it's in the books. He lost it, but a lot of people
Parker winning.
Right. Okay. So some people felt Parker won that fight. I just say it's in the books, but even still, outside of that, he dominated in every performance. And this kid has the hand speed. He has the pop. So he's going to get better. You have more to fear in a second fight with him. And when you say you're only as good as your last fight, well, look at the two opponents, an old man and a young lion. So you can take a loss to that. But everybody, come on, man. I'm willing to bet any amount of money. Wilder sleeps this dude before 6, bro.
I believe it.
He sleeps him.
Yo, Toy, talk to us. Toy, you there? Can we hear him?
I can't. Is he talking?
We getting close to the 2. We getting close, well over the almost a 3 hour minute, aren't we? DT3.
I gotta holler at y'all about this little narrative stuff because we only got Khalil and this other guy, Kimmy Cow is the only one who's really commenting, really challenging what we're speaking on in the show.
And that's welcomed. That's welcome. There's nothing wrong with that.
Khalil is basically saying that if you're a part of a group, you have to push a certain narrative, and that is not true. So I asked D. Jefferson if you can debunk this narrative. You're the narrative killer. So I'm asking you to do what you do best and kill this narrative.
I'm gonna debunk this with probably. They go Babs right there, bro. I'm gonna debunk this narrative with probably, and I'm not. I know Khalil is not a part of any group. Like some people think that Khalil is a part of the LDBC or whatever. He just go around and he spit his thing. You know what I mean?
Respect.
Kamika, I'm not sure, but when you look at the LDBC, right? The Cali Enigma, they were pushing the narrative about Canelo, but Cali's actually a Canelo fan. Now he's a part of the LDBC, and we know how they roll, right? So, not to get too deep into this, he's a part of that group, and he didn't just follow with the same thing. Me, myself, I kick it with a lot of groups. The NBBC, UGC, BDA, but anybody and everybody that know me, look, man, I use these things here and this thing right here. I don't follow any narrative from any group. And if somebody say something that I don't agree with, I don't care how fucking cool I am with you, I'm going to lay it on the line. So you don't necessarily have to follow an agenda or a motive just because you rock with any group. That's totally off kilter, bro. Absolutely. Just follow me around and you'll find out that to be true.
Okay, so DT, there's gonna be us two and Mag and Babs and McKenzie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and back out, bro. So y'all can get her up in here.
All right, bro.
Waiting.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
y'all having me on, man.
D Jefferson and I'm Toy. Sorry you had technical difficulties, bro. If he want to hang around, and bring him and Babs. We still can't hear him.
Let me bring in, see what Babs is on. Yeah, let me get her up in here.
Hey, everybody subscribe to D Jefferson Boxing.
Feel free.
He is deep with freaking knowledge. Boy is bad. As y'all see, he's deep.
Well, I have to be fair. You know, when you say use the same energy for the 78-year-old Ortiz, the reason why I get on Ortiz about his opponent is the opponent that Ortiz fought, he already knew he was fighting him. It wasn't no fill-in opponent. Wasn't none of that. He knew he was fighting Christian Hammer. It was already set up. It wasn't like Christian Hammer backed out or somebody backed out and Christian Hammer just filled in. He knew he was fighting Christian Hammer. It wasn't nothing other than that. And he still fought the fight that he fought, which wasn't that good of a fight. He should have got Christian Hammer out of there. It shouldn't have went the distance, period, point blank. So you can't compare Ortiz fighting Hammer with Joshua and Ruiz because Ruiz was a fill-in. Okay, it wasn't his original to pick opponent.
Absolutely. And you think about the emotional up and downs he went through waiting to find out who his opponent was.
Right.
That was a handicap for him in only 5 weeks or whatever to prepare for the fight. Although Joshua's been a target by everybody, all the heavyweights. So
right.
It's not,
and it would be the same thing if it had been any other fighter, Double M.
Absolutely.
All right,
So
we got
Ruiz,
her. We got my girl. What's up, baby girl? What's going on? Welcome to the show.
Oh, hey, hi. Thanks.
What's up, Babs?
Thanks a lot. Oh. Nah. But I'm actually a fan of Anthony Joshua. And I just felt like the last fight that he had, I don't know if you guys are talking about this or not, but I think that the last fight that he had, it did surprise me and show me that he needs a lot of improvement. And I really hate to say that, but it's true. And I think Ruiz might actually have because the way that, champions are supposed to, even if they're in difficult situations, they're not motivated. Champions are really supposed to bounce back and recuperate and end up winning.
True.
But this guy, he didn't show me that he was a dog like I know that some Americans are. He didn't show me that he was like a warrior. It seemed like he kind of quit, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you got dogs on both sides of the pond. So we don't want to worry about UK not a dog or USA not a dog. I get what you're saying 100% though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, it has really nothing to do with USA or UK. I'm just saying the UK, I mean the fighters such as Sean Porter or Keith Thurman, they're dogs.
Yeah, it seemed like Joshua, you saying it seemed like Joshua folded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It seemed like Joshua was a fairy to me. He wasn't throwing no punches. He wasn't really trying to get in there and really recoup himself. I mean, he landed a couple good jabs. He landed a couple good hooks around the guard and everything of that nature. But it didn't seem as though he was really determined to kill Ruiz in the ring. And that's what I like to see. I like to see people go in there and try to not necessarily literally kill, but yeah, be motivated to knock heads off.
Do you think he fully recovered from the temple shot?
Oh, sorry, huh?
Do you think he fully recovered from getting hit in the temple?
From the good shot, the good hook.
I don't think that he fully recovered, maybe from getting hit in the temple. I think he recovered maybe in the 5th round, where he should have been up to speed and he was getting his jab back in. I think from the 5th round, moving a little bit forward. But after that, it seemed like every time he got hit, he was down.
Right. Gotcha.
I hear you. Okay.
And that's what really upset me.
I feel you. So I gotta debunk this real quick, and I'm gonna get right back to what you were saying, Simone. Okay. You do not have to be. You do not have to agree with anything that we're saying on the panel. It's okay to disagree. Okay. Just because you disagree with what we're saying, it doesn't mean you're against a narrative. Okay. If you don't like the comments that we're saying, then you feel free to be objective. If you have an issue, come on the panel and give us your take on the objective. It's okay. It's all right. It's no problem whatsoever. But we are not the only opinions in boxing. Our opinion is not final. Okay. We give our take. We are honest, open, and objective. And if you have an issue, I'll send a link, chime in, and give us your take. Now, to your comment, Simone, I do think that AJ should have had a little more dog in him.
DT3.
But I think he just wasn't motivated to fight Andy Ruiz when they fought. He just was like, all right, I'm finna beat this fat boy up and all the shit. So it's just like, now when you see that Andy Ruiz basically gave him some work, he's going into the fight different. It's like, okay, I know how this boy move. I know how his power feel. I know how fast he is. So he's going in. He's going to be real sharp fight night. The Anthony Joshua you looking for, Simone, is going to show up fight night. I promise you.
I hope so. I do. I really do hope so, because I didn't like the fact that he even though maybe he thought he was a slouch or something like that. If that was the case, when he saw that he's a live opponent, he should have kicked that into gear. You don't stay unmotivated the whole fight, and then you get beat up the whole entire fight. I mean, you unmotivated when you come in, and you might see that he's a slouch or something. You're like, okay, but then when you see that this guy is for real serious, you're supposed to go into the mode of, okay, now I had to really put on my suit, if that makes any sense.
Right, it does.
I hear you, 100%. And at this, my comment to that is, you don't really. It's hard to understand or know unless you're in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So in respects to every fighter in the world, everybody has different, should I say, ways they respond. Some people might respond immediately, can kick that gear in immediately. Keep in mind, Anthony Joshua only had 50 amateur fights. He has the least amount of experience to any fighter he goes against. That plays into your boxing instincts. If you understand what I'm saying. So
right.
No, I definitely do.
Everything you saying is 100%, and I agree with it 100%. And also try to flip the coin and look at it from the other perspective, as far as Joshua is going to have his opportunity to prove all his doubters wrong December 7th. So that's what we're going to see. Okay, you know what I mean? He's going to learn a lot from the Ruiz fight, and Ruiz learned a lot from that fight. So we're going to see what they show best on December 7th. I know I can't wait, because it's going to be an epic-ass fight. And Simone, apologize for thinking you were Babs. Okay, I thought it was brought in.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Simone, so my apologies, sweetheart.
Can y'all hear me?
It's okay.
Yeah, we hear you, bro. We hear you.
All right, I'm just making sure,
All right, I see y'all though. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, Beauty. Appreciate you. Come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what we hear all to talk about boxing. We can have different opinions, and we can have different ideas on fighting and boxing and stuff, but that's what it's about. At the end of the day, we have different opinions. Yeah, go ahead. My bad, Myra.
No. Go ahead, champ. My fault. Go ahead.
Yeah. We have different opinions in there. Like me and Tay don't agree on everything on boxing and shit like that. But at the end of the day, we can sit down and talk to each other like gentlemen, and talk to each other like man about this shit. We all have different opinions. What got us into boxing was, different things. Like me with the narrative, like with fanboys, and they say casuals and stuff like that. Fanboys is needed in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Hardcore boxing fans. It's needed. As much as we try to, we might, you a fanboy, you a casual, this and that. You need hardcore fans, you need fanboys, and you need casuals, because casuals are new to the sport. You know what I'm saying? They come in, they get into it, so it's new people. Fanboys is the ones like me, a Deontay Wilder fanboy. I ain't finna pretend and fake. You know what I'm saying? I'm flying out to go to Vegas to go watch the fight and shit. Even though I know probably Tay gonna beat Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's needed. And then you need the hardcore boxing fans, the ones that been watching the sport since they was children, to give up knowledge, to give knowledge and different ideas and different opinions to the sport. You know what I'm saying? To educate people that's coming into boxing. pretty much.
Absolutely. You know what?
Yeah.
The people who wanted to come in and just talk, and the people who want to come in and bring narratives or say you're a fanboy this, a fanboy that, and all that, that takes away from boxing. And I don't even want to highlight those people. You know what I mean? We really want to talk about, highlight, and bring the people on who just want to talk, share their opinion. Okay?
Yeah. That's it.
And that,
it's like, oh, girl, right there.
no versus against NBBC or LDBC. No versus against this or versus against that. Because people are always going to have their opinions. And a lot of those opinions in the comments going to try to drive other people and stare other people's opinions in the comments. We're going to stay integrity, keep our integrity, and just stay to what we want to do, and just bring good boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? People want to come talking good. People who don't want to try to bring, oh, you guys are this or you guys is that. Nah. Because it's not going to get, it's not a good appealing for the grand view of the total boxing fans in the world. Yeah. It's not a good, we got to bring fun back to boxing.
Right. And Callie says, imagine if we used he wasn't mentally prepared or he didn't train properly every time a fighter loses. That happened, Callie. That happens, okay? If it was Wilder, I would say that. If it was, who else? If it was Errol Spence, I would say that. It's not just an AJ thing, okay? I even said that Wilder has an extreme amount. I mean, I got my boy Toy on here. I don't know no other Wilder fan, bro, except for Toy Lemons right here on my panel right here, right now.
And I'm a real Wilder fan. Been following the man since 2009. I'm going out to Vegas to go watch him fight, all kinds of shit. Bought the T-shirt, everything. You know,
I'm just saying. Wilder is the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division. Nobody punches harder in the heavyweight division than Deontay Wilder. Nobody. Okay? Nobody. Okay? And where was your energy at when Wilder was given an extra few minutes when the last fight with Ortiz? Where was you at then? What's your excuse for that? Okay?
But Ortiz got a little extra time in that 5th round, though.
And also, hit the like button, beautiful spirits.
Here she go. Here she go. Here she go. Another hour. Here she is. Another.
I tried to get on. I apologize.
What's up,
good, Babs?
What's up, Mackenzie?
Can't see. Let me take off my glasses. Sorry, I was at work. What are we talking about?
We talk about
basically this Joshua Wilder and basically how Anthony Joshua is getting this rap like we making excuses for Joshua and we're not keeping that same energy for Wilder. So I'm basically letting Khalil know that we keep the same energy for all fighters. And if you don't like something that we saying, feel free to chime in or just prove us wrong.
And also, we have many more people in the comments besides Khalil Nevitt. So here's not the focus on who we need to try to prove anything to. The DT-Magnus boxing channel is to give boxing listeners good boxing talk. So we have nothing to prove to you, Khalil.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so
we want
wonderful to have your opinions, and that's why we showed them. But it's many more people in that chat that we want to show honor to, and not just Khalil Nevitt. Sorry, sir. Everybody has their opinions, and respect to you, and thank you for your opinions.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I heard some of your stuff. Absolutely.
Real talk. Put it into that right now.
I don't know if I'm breaking up, but I can hardly hear you guys. Anybody else audio messed up?
No, probably move around a little bit because we hear you perfect.
Yeah.
And she outside. That's why it's here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm outside.
You sound good. Chime in, hun. Tell us what you think.
About Joshua?
Yeah. What you think about Joshua?
Go ahead. I want to hear.
Joshua versus Ruiz, Wilder versus Ortiz, whichever you like.
You're asking me, right? I'm sorry, it's still breaking up.
Yes, you're clear. Just stay.
Oh, okay. Wilder and Ortiz. I think it's not a necessary fight at all. That's my opinion. I don't think I truly think they were very smart to put it on the Fox channels during the football games. I don't know if any of you guys saw it, but there was quite a few commercials, so I think that was pretty smart of them. But I still don't think they're going to get the numbers. I think it's not just a pointless fight for me, really. I think, and honestly, I don't think they're going to give Ortiz the $7 million. I don't.
He was offered $8 million.
You don't think they're going to give it to him? Whoa, what you think? Whoa, what you think he?
So do you know what Wilder is getting? If Ortiz is getting $8 million, what is Wilder getting?
I mean, I'm thinking anywhere from like 12 to 20 million, probably.
I told you, Double M. I said 12 to 20.
12 to 20 million.
I said got to be getting 12 to 20. If they give
Well, 12
Ortiz
to 20.
Wilder get 12 between 12 and 20 million.
Wilder, I think, got 15 for the Fury. You know what I'm saying? And even that Fury first fight, I think he got about almost 15 million.
They got
the pay-per-view buyouts and stuff.
Yeah, the money. What you think, Babs?
I think, well, originally they asked, they offered 7 million, and obviously we all know what happened with that. But I think just to save face, Wilder and them said, okay, we'll give you 7 million. But I truly don't see that they're going to lose money. How are they going to give him this $7 million? I'm not understanding how they're doing this and what Wilder's going to make with it when they're kind of already putting out money. I think even Eddie Hearn said they're going to be losing a lot of money on this fight. Like, where's the money coming from, really? So how are they? I think they're kind of just said to Ortiz, "We'll pay you 7 million," just so he wouldn't accept the offer from Anthony Joshua. That's my opinion.
That's what I want to ask Toy. Toy, what do you think it was a smarter choice based on what's happening now for Ortiz to turn down the 7 million to fight Joshua and have a chance of getting 4 belts, and turn down the 7 to take 8 with Wilder and maybe possibly getting 1? What do you think about that, being a fan of Wilder? What's your take on that?
Well, the thing with that was like, I guess with Ortiz and Wilder, I think they had like more of a personal relationship, like as far as with their daughters, having certain things. And I think it was, Wilder wanted to give him that. I mean, Ortiz took the opportunity because, one, he lost to him. You know what I'm saying? And 2, it was, they got a good relationship, outside of boxing and stuff like that. They got that in common. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie. I mean, if it's 3 weeks, that's what he had. But for 4 belts, you got to go for the 4. You know what I'm saying?
And let me ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, Toy, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, and Ortiz. I mean, of course, I felt like he should have went for the 4. You know what I'm saying? Because that's 4 belts. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, and I'm a Deontay Wilder fan, and straight up and down, like all the way, and he should have Ortiz should have went for the 4, but money talks and bullshit walks. It's the old saying. And I just think that's why it was the 8 million, and then a personal relationship that they have. Why Ortiz took that fight.
What do you think Wilder said he wanted to give him his last fight. I guess the last kind of money he's going to make. Wilder did say that, so wow. I'm assuming he's thinking of being his last fight.
Yeah, and then, and mind you, if it wouldn't be his last fight or his last good payday if somebody didn't intervene into him fighting Joshua.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I think they had a deal already set before he fought Joshua.
Behind the scenes?
I think behind the scenes, Wilder and Ortiz had that already set up.
Because they say Ortiz was upset that he didn't get the Anthony Joshua fight when they say promotion, whatever got in the way of it.
Yeah, but we got to remember Ortiz was with Matchroom for a minute. He thought he was going to get that WB title shot against Anthony Joshua. And then once that happened, that didn't happen. He left Matchroom, and then he went over there with PBC. Then he was just like, all right, I'm going to be loyal to Al Heyman, or loyal to, what. And I just think because they personal relationship, that was the big thing, was like they got a good personal relationship. They made, the first fight was exciting. You know what I'm saying? And, they're going to do it again, and I mean, we'll see what happens. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
Let me ask this question. Do you think, first of all, yes, I think the issues with both of their daughters needing medical help was something to help appeal to the public. But at the same time, knowing they had such a good relationship, does that affect the intensity they fight each other and the integrity that they fight with in the fight against each other?
I think they're going to both bring it. You know what I'm saying? Because what's on the line? Deontay Wilder know that he got to get through Ortiz if he's going to fight Fury in the second fight. You know what I'm saying? If they fight in February. So he has to get the job done. He
didn't have to. He didn't. Ortiz ain't a mandatory.
Nah, he's not the mandatory. Ortiz is not the mandatory. And
he didn't have to fight Ortiz again.
Yeah, but like what I said, what I referred to at the beginning was the personal relationship. I ain't gonna lie about that. That's what that's my thing with it. you know, he could have waited. Deontay could have waited and just waited to fight in February and fight against Wilder. But
Or fight somebody else.
not Wilder, Fury.
He could be fighting. Dylan White is not suspended. He could be fighting Dylan White now.
Dylan White.
Parker, Pavectin.
Maurice Suleiman said that Dylan White is not suspended. So why couldn't Wilder go ahead and fight Ortiz? I mean, why couldn't Wilder fight Dylan White instead of Ortiz?
This is the thing with Dylan White. The whole situation with them is like the WBC first tried to have him fight Dominique Brazil. You know what I'm saying? He was the man. Him and Dominique Brazil was supposed to fight for the mandatory. But whatever reason, you know, I don't know what happened between them. They didn't fight. Then they tried to put Ortiz in front of him. He didn't fight him and Ortiz for whatever reason. They didn't fight. So I think, you know, and as we see with the WBC, they a cold piece of work. You know what I'm saying? WBC is something else. And I'm a big WBC fan. That's the cold part, guys. I used to think, you know, I was WBC is the best belt, all that and this and that, you know. But go ahead, Myra.
Yo, why are we fans of sanctioning bodies instead of fans of boxers?
Because I don't know.
To be a fan of WBC, my goal was a Muay Thai.
They don't fight, but they don't fight. They just sanction bodies. Why are we fans of sanctioning bodies more than fighters?
Because of the fighters that we like are champions of those certain weight class, those certain belts.
Yeah, but that's the belt around them.
Yeah, but you know, I think that's what it is. You know, sometimes I think we got our certain favorite fighters that are champions of these different belts, so we highlight them to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying?
We want to see them with all the belts, don't we?
Huh?
We want to see them with all the belts. Ultimately,
true.
Unification trumps everything, don't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I'm correct, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but originally, Wilder didn't really care about unification. He didn't, you know, care about the belts. But now, I know it's been talked about. But now they're saying that he wants to unify, you know, and I think it's obviously if Andy Ruiz wins. But before, why wasn't he saying all that? I was very confused by that. Like, what changed besides that AJ lost?
Oh, and Babs, what anything you have that you have against AJ that we want to go both ways? What's something about AJ you think you need to prove on, or something that questions you have against AJ?
Well, I'm for AJ. I'm a fan.
Well, you could be for
also.
somebody. You could be for somebody.
Yeah, but I'm more of a fan of boxing, obviously. Yeah. I think his stamina, his strength and conditioning, and his stamina. Hopefully, we see a lot better because it apparently wasn't there. Regardless of what they're saying, what happened before or after. The strength and conditioning, I'm glad that he lost weight. I think that's for the best for him. Also, I think he needs to work on kind of fighting tall, using his reach. They say he has a hard time fighting shorter fighters. And I don't know if you saw with Pavectin, he kind of, you know, was, I guess, you know, widens his stance a little bit to try and get to their level. I think he needs to use his height as an advantage. And if he does all that, I think he's going to do great. I don't like to predict really because I like to see both of them, you know, the week of, like their mental state, this, that, and the other. But I'm going to say AJ probably by round 5. I think he's going to try and break them down, you know, 1 through 4 maybe.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping. And that's if he changed all those things that he needed to change or work on, should I say.
Gotcha.
Okay.
DT3, what's up, man?
Oh, no, I just had to put my baby in her crib. She was starting to trip out, so I had to put her in her bed.
Family first.
But yeah, man, we got a lot of people getting at my boy Toy, calling him a delusional, and I don't see where my boy's being delusional at.
Don't get those people. Don't get those people. Look,
don't worry about that. Let's keep going.
This was great conversation with you.
Yeah. My boy is really speaking real good talk here. So y'all saying he's delusional and all these things, and my boy know what he's talking about. You know what he's talking about.
Yeah, so I think this is the thing. Like in boxing, we are all fans of certain boxers. You know what I'm saying? And maybe not all of it, not every single boxer, but we got certain boxers that we do like. And that's what got us in boxing when we was younger. You know, when we were kids, we were little and stuff like that. You know, me watching Lennox Lewis when I was a kid, me watching Bernard and Roy and James Toney fight and those type of dudes. Those guys that got me into boxing. Oscar De La Hoya, Chavez, Pernell Whitaker. You know what I'm saying? Those guys made you fans when you were little. And so as you get older and you watch the sport more and things of that nature, you always going to have certain fighters that you kind of gravitate to. that you like their personality, you like the way they carry themselves.
Naturally.
You know what I'm saying?
It's natural.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a natural thing. You know what I'm saying?
What are
And,
the things that you like about Wilder, like, that you're saying? Like, I'm just curious to know, as
well, me, I've been
obviously you're
following.
a fan of boxing, but you like,
The
Wilder.
reason why I like Deontay is because I've been a fan of him since he was fighting on ESPN, when he was fighting Thursday night fights and Friday night fights and stuff, So I just like the Deontay because I just, I guess his personality, you know what I'm saying? Like, as a person, he's a good dude. He'll talk to anybody. He'll conversate with anybody. Even they got this dude, I seen one video where I guess they call him a hater or whatever. That was like, him and Deontay was chopping it up, having a good conversation. He was being real and being honest with Deontay, how he felt about him. And Deontay didn't take nothing personal. They laughed, they joked about it and everything, And I guess that's what detracted me to Deontay Wilder, just like his personality. I'm going to be also honest, him being African-American. I'm not going to lie about it. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason to lie and sit here and pretend like, oh, no, that ain't part of it. No, it is part of it. I'm not going to pretend.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to include that and a reason to look out. Yeah.
And I just, it drew out his career. I just watch him, and I know, some people say, oh, he ain't skilled in this. He don't do this. He don't do that. He don't do this. But the thing about Deontay, he always finds a way to get the job done. Regardless of if he's losing, he's down. It's like, I think it's the heart and determination, you know what I'm saying, that he has. That also made me like him, because I've seen him down in fights. I've seen him, have to go through certain things, Absolutely. And he just, he gets the job done. He may not be perfect on everything he does. And sometimes, he might say some things that people don't agree with, or, he talk out of context, and which a lot of boxers do. A lot of fighters contradict themselves and say certain things. But that happens when you got a million mics in your face every day. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And you get answered a lot of questions. You get asked a lot of questions.
DT3.
Go ahead, Tay.
Shout out to people in the chat, man. Let's give our shout outs in the chat real quick.
Just want to give a shout out to Sammy Shaw. He stayed coming through the chat. Give a shout out to Tony Lyons, Suleiman, Red Glove, Militant. Special shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Real talk.
Also, who's rated boxing news? Peace and pugilism to you, sir. Who is this? Namil Simpson. Peace and pugilism to you, sir. Candy Crush.
Benjamin Franklin.
Peace and pugilism. We got a lot of beautiful people up in this joint. We've been on for quite a.
Shout out to my boy for real. Man. You for real, because you the truth, man. Shout out to my boy for real, Parker, man.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
This was fun. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I came in late.
But before we cut out, before we dip out, before we end the show, I would like to send a special thank you to Boxing Logics United. Special thank you to Babs. Special thank you to my boy, longtime friend, lifelong friend, my boy Toy Lemons.
Why you giving a special thank you to me? This is our show. Why you special?
Yeah, this is y'all show though. This is y'all show, Tay and Mari. That's y'all show.
This is our show.
And I appreciate y'all letting people. My bad. Go ahead, Tay. I appreciate y'all letting other people with different opinions and different ideas talk and having a good conversation about boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we got different views and different ideas. You know what I'm saying? We don't agree on everything, and we probably won't. But at the same time, we are talking about boxing, and it's nothing wrong with having different opinions and different ideas on it.
Shout out to Lisa Bales. Shout out to Lisa Bales and John Cable. Shout out to
John Cable in the building. What's up, John? Yeah, we came through, man. Me and Marvin came through to host the show, a real boxing, unbiased show for y'all, for all you Wilder fans. We're not really finna just give y'all a hard time on this show. If you're looking for that, you got to meet me on the DT3 debate. This ain't for that. This ain't for that. This is just to talk.
And it was all calm, going back and forth, no screaming and yelling. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, no disrespect, no insults, nothing like that. No.
Also, if you want to go ahead and debate, meet me on Boxing Logics United. Myron Magnus, Boxing Logics United. Okay, this is the DT-Magnus show. If you got any, and come to the Boxing Brew, because I'm drunk and I give you all the business you want.
Just saying.
It's called the Boxing Brew.
Joshua,
it's called the Boxing Brew. Have your beer, have your freaking joint, wherever you want, and we're gonna get it in.
I like the day after too, that one.
The hangover. The hangover.
So understand that we'll be here every week. Either it's gonna be a Saturday or a Sunday. We'll let you know on our channels. It will not always be on my channel. It'll also migrate to Boxing Logics United. It'll be on his channel as well. So it's not just going to be a DT3 thing. This is DT-Magnus. This is DT3 and Myron Magnus, Boxing Logics United, together as one unit. So don't think it's because it's on my channel. It's my show. No, this is me and Myron Magnus's show. So we both hosting it. It's going to be on my channel. It's going to be on his channel. Be prepared every week to talk boxing with your boys, Myron Magnus, a.k.a. Double M, and your boy DT3, man.
And thanks, Toy. And thanks, Bass.
Yes, sir.
Baby.
Yes, good job,
Appreciate
guys.
it. Thank you, fellas. Thank you.
All right.
Yo, it's
Y'all
awesome.
have a good evening. Y'all have a good day, man. Go watch some football games.
I'm watching
Man, God bless, man. And we out this thing, man. 100.
All right. Peace.
Peace and pugilism.
Thanks. See ya.